puddles in my house. Everything goes in.
Oh, you got him. You got him.
Pardon me, madam.
I saw his eyes flicker. My God, you got him. His eyes.
I can't.
Oh, no, I don't want.
Yes, I got him.
You got him. That's a tough pill to swallow for, I think, anybody who wants to be in entertainment when you've tried really hard to do things what you've been told is the correct way to do it, right? And you take a lot of pride and effort in your process and your workflow. But then you see somebody who maybe doesn't care as much, because we talk about that in here about like, hey, when we do this segment, everybody just kind of chill out and just don't care, because it puts you in a better mind space.
Yes,
it actually makes you funnier, makes you more comfortable, makes your show a little more relatable. It's easier going. You're not hearing any like little bumps or any things that are floating in your mind.
And maybe it's the same thing. Like we wanted to do something different than what we saw the generation above us do in radio. Yeah, and we wanted to do it our own way and then our own style, and that's the way we did it. But it all came with a point to it, and like I watch Impulsive and I see Logan Paul or whatever, and he's slouched down on the couch. And
that's his brand,
and that's his brand. That's what he's doing. But then dumb old man. I was like, put some effort into it.
Yeah,
like,
unfortunately, you and
ask your guest
Pull up
something.
your pants, boy.
I'm like,
I used to be with it, but then they changed what it was. Now what I'm with isn't it, and what's it seems weird and scary to me. It'll happen to you.
Yeah,
that's like
what
you
say.
Yeah. But now I understand exactly the opposite, and like everything I'm saying is hypocritical in one aspect or another, because we're at one point we're like, we can't care too much because that's how you better.
But
content.
we're also putting on a show, and I know that you and I come from the greatest showman school of performance, where it's like, just put some GD effort into it. Act like you want to be there. No, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that. Act like you want to be there.
And ask some more interesting questions, because like you're interviewing the Island Boys. There's a lot more interesting questions that you're arguing about whether diamonds are real, then they store them off.
You know what I really want to know about
like,
Island Boys is like, when did you start your transition into the tattoos and the hair, and like what did you look like when you were like 16 and 17? Were you anywhere near these like personas of these?
I think like one teardrop and then they little.
Like
dreads.
how did you become human broccoli? Like how did that happen? That's interesting to me.
So
how's your mom? What's she look like?
Now, I only saw a tiny clip on TikTok. The whole interview may be better. It was one of those instances that I'm doing what people did to me, and then
now hold on a second.
That's what happens,
I think it makes you not dumb old man though to vocalize that you are aware of dumb old man tendencies. You're doing the opposite of what true dumb old man would literally just get on here and say they're doing it wrong and never address the fact that you are conflicted by that feeling.
yeah.
So you're not a dumb old man.
Okay.
Nerds. Nerds.
Reason to feel not good enough, and it's hard at the end of the day. I need some distraction.
It's a celebration. Celebrate good times. Come on. Let's celebrate. Come on now. Celebrate good times. Come on. Let's celebrate.
It could be as sweet as you want, pink, anything.
Whoa.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Andy.
You all right, buddy?
Don't say your name after that.
My God, you know what? You're gonna end up in court. Lemon Collins is standing there.
He's your lawyer.
My client is innocent.
I've been meaning to yell about this, and I keep forgetting.
All right.
Quit.
Oh, well, that's what we need around here, more yelling.
Quit laughing at Daniel's group text.
Why?
Because
I'm funny. It's a whimsical
Wait,
fun.
you're
I
yelling
laugh
at
at
him to
Butler.
quit laughing?
I
Yes.
laugh at Butler. What did you
No,
say the other day?
I don't
You
care
put
what-
something in there and you gave like a heart. I
Wait,
was like,
listen,
ha-ha, and then
Just laugh on your own time. Quit.
Whoa.
Okay, Captain No Fun.
Laugh
Oh
on your
my
own
God.
time.
No, I'm just saying, but no.
Damn. You want to turn your day around because this you have tears in your eyes, Tom. You're crying.
Yeah.
They're just search.
Now, you know what? That's fun.
That
I'm
is
having
funny.
fun.
Hi, me Seth. Me gonna tell you a couple stories, okay? You're gonna be impressed. Me tell you 2 stories, one good, one bad. Me tell you a good one. Me promise you will laugh. Wait, why me see chat room saying good ones seem kind of bad? Huh. One story good. One story bad. One story feel happy. One story me sad. One story me big hero. The next me douchebag. One story me good. Me really good. Me telling you this story good. One story me bad.
I'm sorry you talking like that is caught on. I'm sorry. It's my fault. Tracy in our Twitch chat room says that she wants Tom and Dan panties.
No, she doesn't.
There was a time when
Because
all
it'll be novel-
good radio shows, all good influencers, you weren't a radio show unless you had a pair of spicy panties on your website for the ladies that like your show or the men who like to objectify their ladies. They go to the website, they order a pair of panties like
Panties
Tom
are-
and Dan's Beaver Hunt. And you order the panties, and then we send them to you, and you put them on your old lady, and then you take a photo of her wearing the Tom and Dan Beaver Hunt panties, and then we put her in the Tom and Dan Miss Beaver Hunt contest.
Yeah.
Wait,
what-
it's hot tub
clicks.
and mini fridge.
Yeah.
Hot tub and mini fridge, Beaver Hunt. Beaver Hunt might be copywritten by Hustler Magazine. The only reason I know about Beaver Hunt is from my father. God rest his soul. But my dad, a big fan of Hustler's Beaver Hunt.
Tracy, send an email to Tony and have him start looking up for Tom and Dan Beaver Hunt.
No, hot tub and mini fridge.
Oh, yeah, hot tub and mini fridge.
What are you trying to do? Trying to sink the ship, man? Hot tub and mini fridge, Beaver Hunt panties. Now, does it have a little beaver on the front that oddly looks very much like Daytona Beach's Bucky Beaver? For Bucky's, that stupid gas station that everybody goes to that I went to, we put the beaver on the front, right? And he's got big buck teeth. He's hi.
Yeah. I seen the meme. It's like all the rest of the world quarantine, Florida.
Yeah, risk it for brisket. You gotta risk it for brisket.
Right, I'm like, look at that.
Yeah, look at him go. He's a little beaver.
Anyway, Beaver Hunt.
Okay, we're gonna do hot tub and mini fridge Beaver Hunt 2022.
Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Open up your hate and let everyone make.
You are going on vacation. You're going skiing. Things can happen when you're skiing, so I'm just checking that
Yeah,
the
my wife-
insurance
yeah, my-
is up to date.
My wife was making sure that your Keyman insurance was paid up so you don't Sonny Bono.
And I'm shit-faced and no helmet. Hold on.
And then yesterday, he tells me the
higher than
story.
Chong.
I'm like, hey, you, because I still try to trudge through small talk because I'm a fucking idiot. And I go, hey, you excited about going skiing? Oh, I couldn't find any boots. They're all sold out. So I got an X-Acto knife. I found a video and I'll hollow out my boots. I'm going to hollow out my boots with a knife so they fit my feet.
Yeah, he's got to cut the toe out of one of them.
What?
Well, you know,
You
it's
didn't hear about this?
That's what Reddit said.
That's what crazy people do. He always uses that on me. He's always, that's what crazy people
Why
do.
can't you wait
You know
until
what?
you get out there?
You know what crazy motherfuckers do? Crazy motherfuckers use a knife to dig out the toe of their snow boot.
sizes.
No, she doesn't know that.
Oh.
Stand up and show her. She needs to
Oh
know.
my
that
God.
Put 'em
she
up.
needs to
No.
know.
I need to see.
What is it? You
Yep.
can't tell. You
Has
can't-
your
Stand up.
arch fallen?
No,
Is
he
this
broke.
right?
He broke his foot.
When he was
Wow,
a
that
kid.
toe is a lot longer.
Yeah, so it's a whole size difference.
It's,
So
Okay.
it's grotesque.
So-
it's like 1/2 foot
He
and one
needs-
long foot.
so we needed.
It's like,
I bought him
it's
a
like
new.
the clown who had one shoe.
I bought him a second pair of boots this year.
Yeah.
One in size 10 and one in size 9, so he could wear one on one foot and one on the other foot. Which
Handicap.
is a terrible waste of money, but anyway, it didn't fit or whatever, so we returned it. And now there's apparently a boot shortage.
Yeah.
There's a shortage of like everything, but
Everything.
also
The boots
snowboard boots.
Snowboard boots.
In Florida, that's
Mhm.
weird.
And so he.
They make them in Russia.
Yeah, they're weird.
Yeah.
So look, anyway, the guy suggested that there are companies who can hollow out the toe, because the problem is last year TC lost his toe or his toenails.
My Jesus God.
See, this is why we need the insurance
God,
policy.
you keep a lot of secrets from us. This man's been walking around with a 1/2 foot with one toe on it.
Can you put like some cotton or in the toe? Like,
Mm-mm.
what-
It's
to
gotta
make
be
it-
No,
hollowed
it
out.
needs to be longer.
Yeah. Why don't you just chop the toes off
Right.
and run it? Cold toe.
Have you called any places out there in Colorado where they
No,
specialize
of course
in
I haven't,
snowboard
Andrea.
stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, Andrea, what
We
you-
might have a listener that might
If you
have
saw
a pair.
how I ran my life, it would. I mean, you'd faint.
Poolbur, because shitty people swim too.
Hey there, it's Tom Van, creator and CEO of Poolbur. You can't spell pool, well, I mean, I can't spell it anyway, but you can't spell pool without P, and you'll have buckets of that in your pool once you start loaning it to trash people on Poolbur, the world's second or third pool sharing app. Poolbur makes it easy. List your pool on the Poolbur app, create an account, and within minutes, you'll have people from all kinds of questionable areas pissing, fucking, and yes, even shitting in your very own pool. And don't forget about the amount of trash and other shit they'll leave behind.
Hey, it's me, Susan. Hey, look, a diaper and a half-eaten gas station hot dog.
You're welcome, lady. It's Poolbur, because shitty people swim too.
Poolbur, because shitty people swim too.
Me and the boys, we like them chicken wings. And we like beer.
I liked beer. I still like beer.
A little football on the Vizio. A friendly waitress's ear. Huh, maybe I'm crazy, cause I like what they don't. I snap secret pictures with my cellular phone. I like them better with their plain clothes on. The only thing currently moving my dog. Little orange shorts just don't cut it for me. I've watched a little too much pornography. I like them wearing those baggy sweats, walking to the beat-up car with real regret. She hopes that she won't have to work here too long. I like them better with their plain clothes on. She tells the table she'll be clocking out soon. Huh, I know what that means. Pretty soon she'll be real comfortable wearing high-waisted jeans. I'm so excited, I think I'm in love. She's my Uggs boot angel, sent from above. I like them better with her plain clothes on. The only thing that's currently moving my dog. Thick shiny stockings peeking out of her sweats. A big cartoon heart that she drew on my check. I walk 'em with her makeup off, leaving work early with a possible COVID cough. The manager knows that she won't be here too long. I like 'em better with their plain clothes on. Oh, girl.
Chi-Town's #1 rock station, Z159 FM. Right. Your only home for the Hot Tub and Mini Fridge Morning Show and Dump 'em Out Fridays.
Oh yeah, a hot tub and mini fridge. Keep me cold and hot.
Tell me, tell me, whoa, Dante, the smoothie boy, hold your banana, let's substitute for kale now, baby. Tell me this week's football picks. Giving me extra peanut butter, make it nice and thick now, baby. Dante, where do you watch the games? I like a venue more intimate than sports bar, baby. Here's my address, bring a change of clothes. Gets hot outside when you're hanging with bros now, baby. Dante, my smoothie boy. Dante, my smoothie boy. I'll come to your classroom, tell your classmates why I gamble. Lies keep falling, turds keep falling out my mouth. Will they recognize me as a big-time podcaster in Orlando? Credibility spirals, you know it spirals down, down, down. Tell me, tell me, I love Bovada, also like Bet Now, and sometimes I use Bet Online also too. Then there's sports betting and bookmaker.eu, and don't forget about GT Bets, that one's good. I love Bovada, I like it a lot, and sometimes I win, but most of the time I lose. Yamadoo. Yamadoo, Dante, I love you.
If you missed the Hot Tub and Mini Fridge Morning Show, then you missed this.
Hey baby, you know I'm always watching you on the news, and I know you're on Channel 9 and everything, but if it was up to me, you'd be on Channel 1. Dear Martha Sagowski, I can't think of a single word that rhymes with Sagowski, but when you're on the news, yo, I just stay in my house, B. Please don't read a single sexy story without me. Dear Martha Sagowski, I can't think of a single word that rhymes with Sagowski, but when you're on the news, yo, I just stay in my house, B. It all started, yo, I was in my underoos. I turned on the television just to catch the news, and there she was, I'd never seen her before. The quality of news booty in Orlando was poor until her. I still remember the story. It was Pitbull versus Infant, and damn, it was gory. It might have been a sad story, and I wish the child well, but I knew in my heart Martha was ringing my bell. Dear Martha Sagowski, if I saw you naked, I could only say wowski. When you're on the news, yo, I just stay in my house, B. Please don't read a single sexy story without me. Dear Martha Sagowski, I can't think of another word other than wowski. When you're on the news, yo, I just stay in my house, B. Yeah, baby. If you were mine, I'd take you to a tropical isle. White sandy beaches and the ocean for miles. You'd have a tiki news desk, a coconut mic, delivering the news by the romantic firelight. My fingers in your hair as you report about healthcare. Korea's got the bomb, but we still sipping on Dom. I know you got a passion to deliver the news, but when we're married, you'll deliver little me's and you's. Dear Dear Mommy Sagowski, I'm your king, you're my queen, and we own this town ski. I get to see your top stories when there's no one around ski. Dear Mommy Sagowski, I'm your king, you're my queen, and we own this fucking town ski. I get to see your top stories when there's no one around ski. Dear Martha, yeah, you know this comes from my heart, baby. Yeah. You know, if you take off the L, the S, the K, and the I, and you add an R, it spells sugar, cause you're just that sweet, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, what's that? Oh, there's a wreck on I-4. I love you, baby.
Heart of my heart, I love you. Life would be naught without you. Light of my life, my darling, I love you. I love you. I can forget you never. From you I ne'er can sever. Say you'll be mine forever. I love you.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath. Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
I wish my refund hurry up so I can have a taxitude.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
I'ma be like, let me get 20 on pump 3.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
Matter of fact, make it 25, and yes, I would like to donate to the March of Dimes, so ring me up that Coke and candy bar 2 for $2.22 deal where $1 goes to March 2. Oh, and ring these Skittles up for my kid too. And when the cashier tells me to have a nice day, I'm gonna be like, no ma'am, you have a blessed day, sugar.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
Pull down my shades like Kim Kardashian, smile like Gabrielle Union.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
Flip my bundles like Nicki Minaj and queen out the door like Beyonce.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
Goofy face, goofy face, goofy face, heart, 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 muscle, muscle, muscle.
Time for a bath, time for bath, time for a bath, and time for bath.
Sassy black girl, sassy black girl, sassy black girl, kiss, kiss, kiss. Hashtag so what, hashtag I ain't shame, hashtag my money, hashtag call me taxitude, honey.
Hello. This is your Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan program. We hope that you will find our presentation precise, joke heavy, and just right. Thanks.
Welcome to the Friday free show of A Mediocre Time.
Hey, it is another A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
I'm Tom.
No Sam today. She is partaking in that which can only be called Fest.
Yeah.
Fest is back in town, and every year she and her husband, Shades, they get costuming. They spend thousands of dollars upon costuming them. Costumes and hats
Where do they stay at in
suits.
Gainesville?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, hotel,
I guess
Airbnb.
They get an Airbnb or something. But yeah, Sam's at Fest. On news today, we have our good friend from the Bungalower. It is our good friend, Brendan O'Connor. Hello, Brendan.
I'm doing a haka.
What is that? Don't do that.
Hey, that's the Polynesian dance, right? That's the Polynesian.
Yeah.
It was good until my tongue came out and Joe didn't know what to do with himself.
It's weird when they do the knee stomping and the
I don't want it to seem as if I'm assassinating a culture of something.
Yeah.
But it is odd that it breaks out in a mall. It breaks out at.
I like it.
You like
Anytime
it?
cool because it's like a call for like you do it before a battle.
Well, anything.
So they're
okay.
hyping themselves up now.
You don't know this, Brendan, but anything, and we'll get to our plugs.
Okay.
But Brendan doesn't know your intense hatred for group.
Oh.
Things like he doesn't like any if it's a trust fall, if it's a hands in the middle, if it's a if it's a hands across America, if it doesn't matter what it is, if it's hands, if it's anything with hands and people, and you're doing things, he's out.
I don't like group think activities. I've never been into that. Yeah, I know. I get it.
I'll think myself, and then I'll write it down.
You hate it. You absolutely hate it. Let's get our plugs out of the way.
Okay, a couple things. The first Solar Bears game that we had attended in Section 118 was great,
God.
fabulous. It sold
so
out. And
I had one too many beers.
It was awesome. And
they go down fast when you're excited and they're draft.
So tickets for the rest of the year are tomandan.com on the Solar Bears ticket link.
Yeah.
Now we will say we're still working out the kinks with the Solar Bears, but when you go to pick your tickets, it kind of randomizes and doesn't let you pick the exact seat.
Right.
So you could do that, or you could call them and just say, hey, I want tickets in the Tom and Dan section. If you want to pick your seat.
Just call. That way you can ensure you know what your seat numbers. If you like to prepare like I do, I don't see any reason why you can't call. But if you don't care, just click the button.
But I will say in November, I'm going to be at the November 10th game. Sam's going to be at the November 13th game. Daniel's going to be at November 17th game.
Yes, I am.
And then we're all going to be back together at the December 16th game, and we're planning something special for that.
Yeah, we're going to be there too.
Yes.
And Johnny B.
Yes, man, you're bringing the bus.
Yeah, hopping on the bus.
Now, is he going to ruin our time now that he's full cop?
Yeah, I would think so.
No, I love Bus Decker, and I hope he brings his wife, man. Leanne's rad.
Yeah,
she is rad. She's a horse rider.
Yeah, and she's just super sweet. So bring everybody. I want everybody to bring everybody. Bring Scotty.
You want Scotty?
Bring everybody.
Yeah.
Bring him on.
If there was ever anyone that would ruin an event, it's Scotty.
No, he's my buddy. You leave him alone.
But
my God,
you can get your tickets and purchase them through the link at tomandan.com, and again, at Section 118.
Yes, sir.
And also, we have our Bad at Business Beer Fest coming up November 19th. Completely free. We tell people to show up at around noon to get your free sample cup.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. It looks like a cup you would pee in at the urologist.
Yeah. Save it for later.
That's our new little guy on there. You can see this at tomandan.com or on Twitch.
Thanks
or
to the Danger Brain for doing an awesome job rebranding both events. But by the way,
that's Buddy, the drunken bad at businessman. That's a little guy.
Need a temporary tattoo.
His name is Buddy. We do need temporary tattoos of him. Great idea, Brendan. That's why you're a social genius. We'll get some Buddy temporary tattoos. Girls will be sticking them all over their titties.
Yeah, I'll be the tattooist.
Yeah.
Give me a job.
Yeah, harmless.
And
it's just fun. It's just fun.
Did you pee in this one?
I did. I did.
Yeah. Smells like
White Claw?
Dehydration.
Smells like a what is it? High noon? Smells like a high noon sunset.
Popcorn butter.
The Sanford Sofa Races, Sofas and Suds are next day on the 20th. Me and Daniel are hosting those. Danger Brain also rebranded all the branding for the Sofa Races as well.
It looks so good, man.
That's the next day?
Yeah, it's November 19th and 20th.
It's
the
Sanford
weekend.
Purge. Yeah, we used to call it the Purge weekend because Tom and I would literally drink ourselves almost to death.
And now you have your Air T&D.
Yeah. Which we are. Oh God, Brendan, we screwed up with that too.
Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, we can because Jesus was super cool about it. So
good thing it was him and not somebody else.
It's our first time ever, and I say,
I say it's our last time? Is it our last time ever having an Air T&D?
No. Well, Crystal, one half of the Bartmere team, Crystal Van, she actually
she needs a van. Not
I know,
She needs a crystal see-through Wonder Woman van.
She was nice enough to help us for free manage our Airbnb because obviously I cannot do it. I'm not like
special needs.
Changing sheets. Yeah, because they do all the things.
Well, no, we got a cleaning
she doesn't
lady.
do that. We have a Sanford cleaning lady.
Oh,
but,
yeah,
she's awesome.
But like just managing the ins and outs of people booking and canceling or like rescheduling
or contacting because it generates a new code each time on the front door, and like there's some things that you have to do.
Moving parts.
Make sure the cleaning lady's scheduled after the person checks out. Some people are
my anxiety is building. What happened? Tom?
Well,
okay.
At the beginning of we decided to do this at the beginning of this year, basically, and then put it together in maybe 4 weeks time. It was insane, and I blame myself. I'm too advantageous with a lot of this stuff, too ambitious.
But we had already blocked off the beer fest, the date of the beer fest in the scheduler for the Airbnb.
Well, we blacked out those dates because I told Crystal, like, before we even started, I was like, well, I know that everybody's going to want that weekend because they know Sofa and Suds is always the weekend before Thanksgiving.
It's the perfect thing to have.
So, it's going to be so sought after that I was like, I know what to do since we're doing this in Sanford. Let's pick a local Sanford charity, and we did Pet Rescue by Judy, which is right up the street. Paul Williams works with them all the time,
and he's been working with her for like 15 years.
And I'm like, how about we just auction off the Airbnb for a local Sanford charity, and that way, instead of like the money, all the proceeds will go to there. Yeah,
right? It just makes sense.
With VIP things for those events.
Exactly. It comes with VIP for Sofa and Suds, and it'll come with like 4 full pours for the yellow brick.
Sure.
We'll donate the money for the yellow brick.
We'll stock it all up for
one of those IV people there to meet you in between events.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah. We should have one of those stations at
I just want to go everywhere with an IV in me and just wheel it around everywhere.
What's in the IV?
So
I don't know.
Now. We did that this was back in March, right? And then so we're like, all right. And then,
set it and forget it.
As we got closer, I'm telling Tony, I'm like, Tony, can you build, and this is not done yet, but it'll be done soon, like a site that people can bid on the weekend or whatever, And so Tony's building that, and then we mentioned it one day on the show. We were like, hey, we're going to auction it off. So then, Jesus, which is one of the guys who runs the CBE group, he's been
I thought you were just talking about Latin Jesus.
Well, I mean, he is the craft beer Latin genius of our craft beer enthusiast groups. But he happened to book it.
We've known him for a decade or more. Since the show started, he's been on all the cruises. The good friend of the show.
He's an awesome dude.
And he went ahead and booked it.
Well, I mean, like, why wouldn't you? He didn't know. He doesn't know what we're doing, right? We didn't tell anybody that we had already blocked it. We weren't like broadcasting. We've blocked off. Why wouldn't you book it, right? If you wandered in there and you knew the beer fest was that weekend and you're just scrolling and you see it, I'd probably book it too. Yeah.
So he apparently was just like browsing, like, oh, let me check, and then it was available, so he booked it.
Yeah, because he's smart.
In September, we didn't even realize.
Yeah, we're not even looking at it, right?
And then so I had to call Jesus, and I'm like, oh shit, dude, it was supposed to be blacked out. We're doing this charity. Now, he was super cool about it. He's like, no problem. He's like, I thought it was weird that it was open. I just booked it or whatever. And then
Airstream in the back.
But I know. But now he's got no place to stay.
He can stay at my house.
So you don't even
in my
He can stay in the old studio in Andrea's office.
There's walking distance. That's the whole.
He lives in Orlando. I'm offering a fucking solution, and you're mad at me.
And there's no other Airbnb.
Is that what happens to you, Scotty? When you offer a solution, do you get yelled at?
Anyway,
consistently. Yeah.
So
yeah,
and then he said something that was true but made me sad. And what it was is
you're a fucking asshole. I don't know why I said it like that, but I felt if his name is Jesus, he doesn't talk like that.
No, he's the nicest guy in the world.
You're a fucking asshole.
Yes.
Fuck you, man.
He's like
makes my toes curl.
He's like this is the perfect Tom and Dan thing to happen. And I'm like,
that does make me sad.
And I'm like, you're right.
Yeah, you're so right. In fact, that it makes it sad.
I'm like, why do we screw up?
Because you
Brendan,
know what?
do you screw up this much?
Do you want to know why?
Oh, okay.
Do you want to know why?
Does everybody?
I can sum it up in one phrase: we try to do too much. And we consistently get our asses bit.
Is it?
Yeah.
You need support.
I feel like other people do this pretty smoothly.
Even
at
our best, even at our best, and I mean everybody in, I think we're only at our best, I think we're almost a 3-man team. And that's counting everybody that works with us. That's Tony, Eric, you, me, Sam, anybody you can think of. But we're only like 3-4 people. And we try to do so much shit And it's too much. It's actually quite amazing that we do the good stuff that we do. That's what everybody should look at and be like, holy
everybody
shit,
still
how do they
loves
do
you.
that?
He still wanted to hang out. He doesn't hate you. He's not burning effigies of you. In
No,
the
he's cool. He's a cool dude.
He's a super nice guy. Nice man.
And I was like, I'll give you another weekend just of your choosing on the house.
5% off.
I have a solution for you. Find out. Do you know the guy that owns the houseboat Airbnb?
Yes, I know that guy.
Yeah, see if he has an opening that week and do a little trade or something. And hook up Jesus.
Right. Oh, he's direct competition.
Yeah.
We want to crush that guy.
down. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Our goal is to eventually purchase his Airbnb and never use it.
You know, by the way, I blame our listeners because at this point, like someone booked it for the Halloween weekend, not a listener, and then Crystal
canceled it. Right?
Crystal's like, at this point, more non-listeners are booking it than
did he get booked? Did he get booked for this?
Yeah, just some random non-listener.
Hey, why's all this goddamn podcast shit everywhere?
Our
this place
listeners
fucking sucks.
Our listeners don't trust us.
No.
They think that's a problem. Anyway.
Is this, okay, a serious question
What?
to you. Is this because of the rumored jism problem?
Yeah. I think it is.
Jism?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, our listeners.
Because we've all jizzed all over.
No. Why would you say that, Brandon?
Because I contributed.
No, come on. No, you didn't. I know. I went there after.
I don't think there's jizz in there.
No, I know there is.
No, there's not. There's
you're
not. There's no
confirming
jizz. There's a cleaning
Jizz
person.
hunters.
She just steam cleaned.
I definitely.
You can't steam the jizz out.
No. It's how much could it be? Like a tiny drip?
No, it was a lot.
No one spray.
I definitely
I
deep
on.
dick that couch for sure.
No,
okay,
you
stop.
didn't.
Is there anything else we need to watch?
I will.
It's okay.
So Daniel, I was at the shoulder doctor this morning, sitting went mad.
He's like, I'm at a specialist. I'll be there. And I'm like,
by the way,
fine. You're
I'm
good.
never going to the doctor again because I was fine. I knew I was fine. I showed him the video of the noise my shoulder was making. He's like, that's fine. It's just scar tissue.
Typical shoulder.
And then I'm like, all right.
Have you heard his shoulder? It's a.
That's not fine. What are you talking about?
This doctor said he's a surgeon.
He went to a specialist, a surgeon, and the surgeon said, yeah, you're fine.
He's a scar tissue.
But you said you still have weakness and pain, right?
Yeah, but then he's like, you just gotta. He's like, you're an old man.
You gotta man up. You're a fucking pussy. Is that what he said?
No, he's just. I
went to Dr. Liver King.
I think
you could do physio. Like, there's things you can do.
No, I'm not doing.
You can't just
I
say.
can do
what
it
about
myself.
that new
I'll
thing that
do
Emmett Smith
push-ups.
talks about, where they stem cells?
Do the stem cells.
Yeah, do the kinetics.
Yeah,
the
just
thing
start-
that's here in town that they won't fully explain what it is, and that's what's super scary about it. Is they're like, get back on your feet and be a super athlete when we inject you with it. I can't tell you. Can't tell you what it is. We got something for you.
Or just like lick babies and hope for the best.
It is. The commercials are weird because they don't ever tell you what they're doing, but they're gonna say, "Well, we use our rejuvenating medicine. We'll get you better than you've ever been."
Yeah.
Isn't that a Netflix special? That girl that made up that thing about filtering people's
He's
blood?
obsessed with that lady.
Yeah, no, but I feel like we're at the beginning of this whole stem cell thing.
QC
and,
Kinetics is the name. They advertise on real radio.
Like in 20 years.
Yeah, they advertise everywhere,
They
really.
gotta be real.
Like, I think that there's just, they're like, you feel it? You know what I'm saying? Like, anything they're like injecting, they're like, do you feel it? No, I'm just like, I need real.
Speaking of injections, I got one on Wednesday.
Oh.
And I did something
Testosterone?
that everybody, I wish, everybody thought I was crazy for doing it, but I went in to get my second epidural in my back. And I was supposed to, normally they put an IV in and then they give you like the twilight. And then I guess they put you to sleep, and once you're to sleep, they do it doesn't. I refused the anesthesia. I refused it when I got there. The lady, because I got to talking to the nurse, and she's like, "So you're getting the sedation today, right?" And I was like, "Well, can I not get it? Does it hurt?" And she's like, "I don't know. It depends on what you think hurts." And I was like, "Well, can I? If I don't get the sedation, like, do people do that?" She's like, "Yeah, there are people that do it." And I was like, "Do you think I'd be okay with it?" She's like, "Yeah, you can try it." So I just decided to go without the anesthesia because I didn't want to be groggy.
Okay.
You know that, like, I like the feeling of it in me, and I've talked about that
messes
before.
Up your whole day after.
It does. Yeah. I love the twilight feeling, but I want to stay on it like Michael Jackson. I want to be on it at all times.
Yeah.
I want to have a little plunger in my pocket, and if I want to
juice
like the
myself
up, if I want to juice myself up, if I'm at, like if I were you and I'm at the opera like you were last night or whatever, I want to juice myself a little bit. I'll give it just give it a little pump.
Okay.
But so anyway, so I refused it, and then when I got in there, it was no big deal. They just put like some Novocaine numbing stuff on it, and then he just jammed it in my back, and he's like, "All right, you're done. You can
didn't
leave."
Feel anything?
No, you felt nothing. Absolutely nothing. I'm not a badass. I'm not Mr. Tough. But it was like nothing.
It's probably because people are scared of the shot, so they want to be unconscious.
Yeah,
during
they,
whatever.
They said that it's more about anxiety than even pain, and I go, well, that's weird because I suffer from anxiety, but apparently needles are not an anxiety for me.
Well, you can't see it. Like it'd be different if they were jabbing it in your eye.
I mean, I guess I've been around a bunch of needles if you consider tattoos and paint and stuff like that. So needles don't bother me.
No, yeah.
Did you get a boner?
I did get a boner.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brendan. Thank you, Brendan, for mentioning. You know what? Far too many guests come on this show and forget to mention my boner.
So,
not a problem.
I was going to talk about Brady because when I was in the waiting room, Daniel sent me a
we're
text.
falling apart. You're at the shoulder specialist. I'm getting a back epidural. What'd you get? Did you get anything?
No, nothing.
Okay.
Getting old. You know what I'm saying? Your bodies have to fall apart.
Scotty came back from he just met his cardiologist today, and they put a little monitor on
Yeah,
him.
he
So
got to
it
wear a
looks like
monitor for the
Iron Man.
weekend or something? Yeah.
Very exciting.
My mom used to have to do that, except back in the day, my mom would wear a brown leather. It was like a big old
satchel.
It was like a tape recorder on her side. It was literally a tape recorder.
I thought you were describing a colostomy bag.
No, I mean, she didn't have one of those, but I wish she did.
Daniel sent me a text and of a story that I guess Brady and Giselle are getting divorced finally.
Yeah, it just broke like right before the show today.
I don't know who you're talking about.
That dude. It would be awesome if you had no idea.
That's hilarious.
Oh, football.
Yeah.
Sports ball.
Thomas Brady.
He's
and
a
Giselle
celebrity
Bunch.
at this point. It's not even about an athlete.
And in my defense, you did not say his last name. You just dropped their first name like he's Madonna. I don't know. Who am I supposed to know who you're talking
You
about?
know Tom Brady. I mean, you don't have to know
Tom
football.
and Giselle. I'm like, I don't know Tom and Giselle.
You know Giselle, though, right? You know what she looks like.
I guess.
You like fashion and stuff.
Now that I know that who you're talking about, I
Okay.
can picture. I like what my voice is doing right now, and I hope it stays.
so the all these rumors have been going on since the beginning of him agreeing and coming out of retirement.
Well, obviously not rumors now, right? I mean,
Yeah.
pretty confirmed stuff now.
Now,
God, he's so skinny. What's happening?
He looks grief-stricken. He look grief. There's grief there.
Do you think grief makes you look like that?
Yeah, he looks gaunt, doesn't he?
Gaunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Like
like
Crypt
this
Keeper
in the fact that it just confirms that there's no fairy tales in life, and every human goes seriously, like because you see.
See, I go the
Pause
opposite.
button. Pause button. I like this. It confirms there's no magic or fairy tales.
It confirms my belief, Brendan, because then I can be like, good.
He hates fun, but like, I go the opposite.
Tickles the cockles in my heart.
This isn't a good thing, dude. Remember, I'm a Brady fan, even though he.
No, it's never a good thing with anybody. But
yeah, I hate it. I hate looking at I was rooting for them.
Of course,
He can keep winning Super Bowls and have a model wife and looking gorgeous. So like now all these things are happening. I feel like he broke a deal with the devil and something's happening. Like he didn't want to trade his soul at the end, and now then the deal with the devil was revoked, and now everything's falling apart.
I do think it seems a bit sudden. I mean, I do, but.
I mean, he already got the
Cracked
benefit
his
of the devil deal. So the 7 Super Bowls and they're getting divorced.
If
like,
that's all you care about,
Something happened, or like someone stole his genie lamp, like something dramatic.
Well, what's
has
wrong
happened.
with what you're saying is that everybody wants to think that they would be the type of person that would want the family staying together and being great, over the Super Bowls. And that's not the case. That's not what we're seeing here. Is that what you're referencing?
Well,
because obviously if his family is falling apart, which it is, then you could make an argument. I'm not saying it's the only reason, because you and I talked about that this morning. That there are obviously multiple reasons. But you can make a pretty good argument that he did choose the Super Bowls over the family unit. He could have left at the end of last year and still been the GOAT. What he's doing now does not elevate him to more GOAT. He's a GOAT already.
Yes.
There's a dysfunction in my mind in there with the guy that can be the best and still has to continue being the best to a fault.
Is there a career dysmorphia? Like you could have body dysmorphia.
I bet you, yeah.
But I bet he just doesn't know who he is if he's not playing sports.
He's
ball.
gay for football. He loves it. That's his thing. He loves
and
football.
Of course,
and he was born that way.
Well, that's what you have
Lady
to.
Gaga.
Yeah. But I don't blame him for deciding to try it another season, because at this point, Like,
I do if the ultimatum though was try another season or your family falls apart, then I do blame it.
Well, I don't think that was the ultimatum.
Why would you do that?
Yeah, but follow me here.
Because he doesn't know what. Maybe it would fall apart anyway because he was so depressed.
And that could have not even been, everybody's going to blame, it's because he went through another, he decided to go another season. That's the reason. But Gisele Bündchen was wearing a Tampa Bay jersey on her Twitter or social media, like cheering him on at one point. So that doesn't look like a person that set an ultimatum, like, if you do this, I'm going to divorce you, because why would you even put that on your Twitter or social media,
well,
right?
You wouldn't distance yourself completely from it. You'd still be rooting for and supporting your husband and what he's choosing to do. Yeah.
But
I don't think you distance yourself from it entirely and be like, well, I hate football and everything around it. I mean,
if she wasn't supporting it publicly, then she's the bad person in this, right? Because everyone, like the crazy sports ball people, would be like, who is Gisele? Why isn't she supporting her man? Because he's trying to save the world.
Well, they're already saying that, right? Like, they're already saying that now, that this is her fault.
So she knows better.
Well, my point being that if that was truly an ultimatum, my point is that everything is more complicated than what we and media wants to make it. Where it's like, this is a cut and dry. He decided to do another season, and that's why they got a divorce. Well, everything is more complicated than that. Every issue is more complicated. Every marriage is. This could have been going on for years.
Oh, yeah.
It could have been inevitable to begin with. Who knows? That's their business or whatever.
Maybe she broke off with him because he got too skinny, and she doesn't like that.
Well, whatever it is, it could have been anything. Yeah. But I don't also blame him for deciding to try it one more year, because look at what he had, the type of personality he had to become the greatest quarterback of all time.
Yeah.
Is the type of personality that doesn't stop and give up at a certain time if you have the ability to do it again. And
why not manage your career like you manage a game, though?
Well, that's hard because,
I'm just saying,
that's what I like about
if you're so smart and if you're the GOAT, you would think that you'd be smart enough to know that the ending of your career is a bookend, just as the beginning of your career is a bookend, and you want to leave and start.
He could do anything
in the best way possible, right?
Yeah.
So to me, if you're such a great game manager, you would manage your life that way, and you wouldn't put yourself in a predicament. Like this whole season does not, even going in, it's always looked a little off, right?
Yeah. Is he doing okay? Like,
No.
Are they playing well?
No. That's a problem. It's
bad.
He just lost last night,
Bad.
and then
For him, bad, I'll say. I still think he's a great player.
Yeah.
I'm just saying this is not him.
Okay.
They lost last night. He's being criticized, and this more than he's ever have in his career. And this looks like, unless it gets turned around or whatever, that it'll be his last year. To me, I think there's no way he does another one.
Have to come back again.
Stop.
Well,
please
at
stop.
this point,
Please
keep
stop.
going.
No, because I'm the guy. No, I hate watching this. I hate watching people. We know people like this in our lives. I hate watching people take something when they were the best and then just start fucking destroying it.
Yeah, but
I hate that.
He's coming back. He's not going to stop. He just won't be with Tampa. Someone's going to... Are you telling me if he was like, I want to keep doing this, if someone offers him a gig, he's going to take it?
I mean,
there's nothing else for him now.
He's even in his play right now. Right. He's
dancing with the stars.
Middle of the pack. He's better than probably 15 other quarterback starters
he's tied
right now.
for 25th in the league right now.
Yeah. Like,
That's not bad.
There's only 32 teams.
Well, but he has a ton of knowledge.
In players.
I always look at older players, especially quarterbacks. You gotta always look at him. The guy's got tons of knowledge. He's the most sacked quarterback in the league, I guess. But he's the most played quarterback in the league.
That's all. He wasn't getting hosting gigs. Like he could have been on ESPN.
He already signed a contract.
He's already done
over. It was a $300 million. He's going to be a broadcaster. Yeah. He's already signed
after this.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
or whenever he decides.
Yeah, it's already he's already got a guaranteed contract, hundreds of millions.
Whether he wins or no.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter. Yeah,
well, perfect.
Okay. So he's fine. It's just the narrative being, he picked football over his family. I'm like, that's ridiculous.
So the only way out of this
now,
but
maybe he has a garbage family.
No one knows.
That's a valid point, right? We don't know his family, but I will say his only way out of this, in my opinion, as he sits right now. 3 losses in a row? The last time he did that was 10 years ago or something? Or something crazy? It's all these crazy stats about he's never done this
But
ever.
if he comes back, great.
But his only way out of this is to win his way out this year.
Okay.
He has to. I think. I don't think
it turns it around.
If he does not turn it around, this is a huge tarnish. It is, I believe.
This is fun. I like talking about sports with two straight guys. I should do this more in my life.
Well, let's switch gears a little bit because we're not a sports show. This
to
is
me,
more
that's
about
not even about sports. That's just the relationship.
Yeah, like Brady and his marriage, and back to fairy tales because.
Wait a minute.
Put it back on Brendan's lane.
What is happening?
And because
Can we talk about Robin Janssen from Orlando City Soccer? Is he going to come back?
Oh, I don't know.
Where'd he go?
He hurt his foot.
Oh, yeah. He'll get better. He'll be all right.
He's my favorite.
Yeah, he's cute.
I just want to watch a Viking play soccer all day.
Yeah, bright yellow hair.
Woo!
The fairy tale thing is like because you see a fairy tale life and we all see that and then we're like, man, my life is rough. I don't have, and then but
Meghan Markle and Prince what's his face, Harry.
We're all humans.
Yeah.
Everybody goes through problems. Everybody has rough patches. It's ups and downs. That's fucking life.
Are you okay? You okay, Tom?
No, because it's
working through something.
No. I'm gonna up now. I'm gonna up. Downs are coming. That's the problem with ups. You're like, oh shit.
Always going to be down.
It can't keep going up.
Yeah.
It never keeps going up. Anyway, let's talk about our Halloween special that it will play on Monday.
Yeah.
But Brendan gave us the idea.
Yeah, thank you, buddy.
I'm sorry I couldn't go.
No, you're good, man. We tried to change it for my stupid back injection, but
so we did our Tom and Dan Halloween special. It must be like the 8th or 9th year
I
we've
think
done
we
this.
looked it up, and it is actually the 8th time that we've done this. We started at Greenwood Cemetery back in the day, and then we moved it downtown one time. Then we did Sanford last year, or 2 years ago.
Yeah. Then we did
last year. You did ceviche, didn't you? Or no, that was
we did downtown again. We were in Church Street.
We did do the ceviche area one time. You're right.
That was last year.
Last year, yeah.
So anyway, we saw this. We saw Brendan do like a
and you
vlog.
copied me.
Well,
100%.
At this point, it was like, what's this gay guy doing? Let's do whatever he does.
Gay guy's doing.
Nobody watches gay guy. Let's do this.
This is what we'll do. We'll do the gay stuff, but we'll do it straight. See,
gay for pay.
And
see?
then we went to the water house on Lake Lily, which is a house that was built in 1886.
And it smells like it.
I love the smell of that, man.
It's mold.
Is it? I like that smell. That mustiness.
And then we walked through. It was supposed to be one of the most haunted houses in Central Florida. I don't believe in it, but anyway. So
you didn't feel creepy at all?
No. I'll go in the house dead in the middle of the night. I'll just stand there, like I'll lay on the floor. I do not
creepy elements of
believe in any of that.
But more than anything, I just really liked the house. It reminded me of my old house. And I very much like old houses. I don't think I get creeped out much in older houses. You know what's creepier to me? Are abandoned, like slightly modern office buildings are scarier to me.
Because there's probably a homeless
I think
person
anything a little more industrial is scarier. Like a house, I was always like, it's
I
not.
don't know. There's something about that house. When I walked in and was standing in front of the kitchen, like I felt weird there. Like it just was like
that was the main room. That is the one. The Stella, I guess, would have been beckoning you in, right?
The daughter.
She was the daughter and the partier, I guess. Well, you'll hear it on the show anyway.
But my point being, then we were watching, me and Crystal started watching that Yellowstone prequel, 1883.
You love your Yellowstone, buddy. I love that he loves it. You love it too?
Yeah, with the hot daughter.
Yeah. She does the poetry.
Are there titties in 1883? Or
no. Is there titties?
Yeah.
No.
I didn't see titties yet.
Man, I respect any show that puts titties in it.
Not like HBO level titties, but there's definitely titties.
Okay, great.
And
Thank you, Brendan.
As I'm watching the Yellowstone prequel, 1883, it dawned on me. I was like, this shit was going on. Like, they're portraying a time
of what we just stood in that day.
And that house was built in 1886, so it was about the same time. And I was like, my God, like, because what they portray, these people going through, like, obviously they're traveling to the west. Yeah, they're traveling to the west and stuff, like, and it's just
is everybody sick and smells like shit?
Yeah, everybody's dying of their disease, and it's just like
because they're holding on to their European ways of life and trying to apply it to this alien landscape where there's just everything wants to kill you. It was crazy. That's a great show.
And then I started thinking how hard life used to be and how easy we have it now.
Oh my God.
And it's insane. Because if you start even in that house, house, the water house, like the dad moved there with his son, built a woodshed to build the house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They had to build the shed first.
Yeah,
So you
did
got
you
to
go-
get there, and I guess you live in a tent
Yeah,
or
yeah,
a lean-to
yeah.
until you've built your cabin for your woodworking.
yeah.
Then once you've built that, you tear down your lean-to, and then you start building the house. Jesus Christ.
That's what they did in Outlander.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And then
And then they had hot Scottish sex.
every day
With
is.
their Sassenach.
I mean, it's gotta be rough, right? Like
Stinky.
Yeah.
we're getting food, like the work. There's no comforts,
No.
you know, and
People die.
yeah, people are dying left and right. Like you probably think there's a possibility of dying every day,
Yeah.
right? Like
My dad's working on an archaeological site right now in northern Ontario where these people from Czechoslovakia, or maybe, I can't remember, Eastern Bloc country,
Yeah.
came over as part of this program to get land. They were given land in northern Ontario, but it was like in the middle of the wilderness, and they were told it was like farmland, and they show up and it's like rock and pine trees.
Oh, so
and
they were
that's
like kind of
it.
hoodwinked a little bit.
Definitely
That happened a
hoodwinked.
lot. You would buy land in the back of magazines, and then when
Yeah.
you show up to
Oh,
claim
be
your land, you
swampland
were
or-
scammed.
And it's just crud.
Yeah.
And then they like had to eventually abandon it because everybody kept dying during the winter because it was so tough. And then we'd always, when I was a kid,
Oh,
we'd-
and he's working on that and like digging up
Yeah.
what they had left of their.
it's
what,
like a stone a house foundation is really all that's left, and they're just finding all these artifacts around it of like old pottery and axe heads
Wow.
and nails and stuff, and basically just seeing signs of where they just dumped stuff after they gave up. And there is a record of the family moving to Toronto because they were just like, what is this? We are in the middle of nowhere. But when I was a kid and used to interview native elders with my dad, there's all these stories about
interview native elders with your dad. What was that about?
Well, 'cause he's
I would go to wrestling matches with my dad, and then we would pull our penises out and point them at our mom, and we'd go "Rat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat," and pretend that they were machine guns.
Oh, that's normal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's
a little
how-
different than what you did.
That's how
So
babies
tell us
are-
about these native elders.
Well, he also taught me how to pee in a shrub while you're trimming it, and the owner won't know that you're peeing at the same time.
Your dad's a fucking badass, dude. I love him.
Oh, and this is in
He's hanging out
Ontario,
with-
Canada.
If you love the naked swinging story, you're gonna love peeing in a bush.
Yeah, you're on a ladder. You just whip it out. You use your hands to keep trimming the shrub,
And you just pee.
peeing free without any hands. Then nobody knows that you're peeing in the shrub.
so
Genius. Fucking genius.
But anyway,
Yeah.
the recording. Yeah, my dad had awful handwriting and stuff, so he would bring me along when he would interview elders, and that's the first thing you do when you go into a new area for an archaeological survey. Is you have to talk to people to find out if there's any like areas of significance. And so like the Canadian government does archaeological surveys before they put in a road, or like De Beers Diamond Company is going to build like a strip mine to build a diamond mine. Like before
Okay.
any of that happens, they have to make sure there's no like historical or cultural sites of significance.
That sounds kind of like what the wizard does for land.
Yeah, except for the gopher turtles.
Yeah,
and
he does the
like
environmental
eagles.
aspect.
Yeah, the
Same thing. And they
Yeah.
have to do that too.
I'm sure he's more on the environmental side. This
Yeah.
is more on the historical preservation side.
Yeah.
Totally interesting that you have to do that, and I'm sure everybody adheres to that and always does that. Right? I'm sure big corporations always make sure that there's no tortoises or artifacts
By the way-
before they build.
Well, this site is actually up for development, and so it's really up to the company if they want to pay for them to continue to dig. now.
Interesting.
So they might like just flood that valley or whatever. I think it's for a hydro dam. I don't know. So that
Gotcha.
whole valley will just eventually be under a lake.
Wow, man, that's nuts.
But I brought up that thing with the elders because they would always have stories of white people living in the middle of nowhere and just going fucking crazy and like eating each other and like the isolation of living on your own and how tough the winters are and like maybe you don't have neighbors.
crazy. White men eat each
Yeah.
yeah.
Wendigo. Do you know that story about the Wendigo?
I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's just people going crazy in the woods and eating each other, and it became like more of like a werewolf story. But it's really about white people
kind of,
going crazy in the wilderness.
Yeah, we turned it into like a modern day
Well-
sort of a fairy tale of
Yeah.
wolves or Wolfman type of
No,
a deal.
the Dahmer party, like they all ate each other because they were, they got stuck and then they had nothing to eat. I mean, As a human being, you will turn into an animal and try to survive, and then you start eating it, whatever you can.
Yeah,
you know, like,
Who would taste the best of the three of us?
Me.
Oh, yeah.
I think you would.
Yeah.
I think you would, because I think you take better care of your body than Tom and I do.
And I moisturize like crazy.
Right, that's what I'm talking about. Like
supple.
I think that you would taste the best. I'm going to go on record as just saying I'm so small that my meat is sour and gritty. I got some sour, gritty tumor meat in me.
I got I'm like the Wagyu beef in this office because I'm well marbled.
You are. I like that. My God. Flavor Town.
Yeah.
So let's take a
Start
break.
with the butt.
When we come back. Oh, I already said that. Cheeks first.
He's always said that.
Yeah.
My guys are going to hug during the break.
But
From Airplane.
I'll eat your head cheeks first.
Well, the flavor,
then your butt cheeks.
the flavor in your head cheeks, this right here is where it tastes right under the eyes is what tastes the best.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah,
Seriously.
like
Try it on a pig. You ever eaten the pig's eyelids?
No.
Oh, my God.
I
They're
have.
delicious.
When they do, chicharron.
So let's take a break. When we come back, Brendan will tell us about what's going on in Orlando, and then we have some dump 'em out topics.
You got it. Hey, remember last week when our buddy Craig from the punk rock concert Foreign Descent dropped by? We interviewed him.
Oh, for Foreign Descent 7.
Yeah, and we interviewed him, and he talked about all these bands that were coming to town, and I finally had enough time to curate and put some of their music into our Tom and Dan Musical Companion on Spotify. It's always up to date with all of the music that we play on the show. He got permission from a few of these great bands for us to play it on the show.
Oh, that's cool.
The first one we're playing is Trophy Jump. The name of the song is Business Trip. You're going to love this band. I mean, they go. So enjoy this. We'll be back with more A Mediocre Time momentarily.
I already love it.
But I only feel dumber. I hope this is the last.
You're listening to the industry leader, radio guys turned podcasters. And now the whole town is sucking our dicks.
Oh, yeah.
You're listening to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. Oh, yeah. Don't forget to lick our balls, bitch.
I have a gift for you all. It is this magic diamond.
Crashing down in a bit of ferocity. An ice cold ricochet scattering across the lake. When I get through to you, will you care? I've been living inside this sanctuary. Walls propped up in a suffocating masquerade. If you knew the truth, would it break? Still I fall from I know I'll fade away from Now they're rolling out the kerosene carpet. Light it up, burn it down, they'll see what they want to see. Did I fool you to innocence? Something's wrong and we don't talk about it. Ocean shift 1,000 times around me. Something's wrong and we don't talk about it. Ocean shift 1,000 times around me. Still I fall from I know I'll fade away from I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. I'm not
I'm not afraid either. That is the Rare Occasions. Welcome back to Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
I'm Tom.
No Sam. She is at Fest, seeing bands much like the Rare Occasions. Brendan O'Connor from the Bungalower is here.
Hi. What's the fest?
It is a giant
punk rock festival.
Yeah, but it's
Oh.
been going on. It's almost like a historical giant punk rock festival. It's been going on for so long, and
'Cause it's for old people?
Super DIY. No, it's not. It's for everybody, really, because you'll get a good mixture of new bands. Like you'll get bands you've never heard of that are breaking. You'll get like those foreign bands that I talked about last break. Then you'll get like old timers, like the Descendants will roll
Oh.
through, and then you'll get to see them, or you'll get somebody like
The Mad
hey-
Caddies.
Yeah, I love Mad Caddies. Or you'll
Yeah.
get somebody like a lot of your bigger, more heralded, like you'll get occasionally you'll get like a Bad Religion or somebody to roll through there. But you get these bigger bands, older bands, and then you get a really good portion of newer bands, and it's like really one of the only places that I can think of where you can find that music in one area over a weekend, where you can see these bands that are so hard to find. They all go to Fest.
They must have a good lineup now because everybody wants to be touring, right?
Everybody wants to go to Fest, yeah. And that one is, and they work really hard at it, and it has like good vibes. I think people enjoy it, and they take care of each other. There's a positive feeling around it, so it's cool.
It's the Suwannee Halloween this weekend too, right?
Yeah, people love that too. That's the
Yeah.
camping out sort of deal,
Mhm.
right? Yeah.
They're all touching each other's butts.
I know. I've kind of sad that I never got a chance to go to any like camp out festivals or anything like that.
What do you mean
You're
they're touching each
still
other's
alive.
butts? Was that
No, I think he just meant.
Well, no, they're definitely touching each other's butts because it's like a hippy dippy. Like tie-dye, you know, outdoor
do some
music
hippie
festival.
butt touching.
Like there's some definite tent sex happening right now.
I
They're
wanna-
making hippie babies.
I want to thank Dr. Phillips because I saw Hamilton last night with Crystal.
Yeah, on brand.
Alexander Hamilton.
It was just playing right now, Dr. Phillips, and my wife, it blew her goddamn mind because apparently the Dr. Phillips.
Did she cry?
She almost. They gave us. I'm not joking.
I've never
when
seen
I say
anything like this,
She
Brendan.
didn't cry, but she definitely farted.
Like, I believe that
There was a
I
release.
personally was sitting in maybe the best seat in that entire theater, the Disney theater. I was
would
sitting
you
behind
accept-
the conductor so close that I could have played the piano.
Yeah.
Like, reached over, not even leaned that
like
far.
the
Like,
musical director. Like, would you accept that? I will tell you that is my dream seat, to sit behind the musical director and watch like Wicked or these grand productions with the amazing orchestra in the pit, dude. It's amazing that you got. And you know what's?
I felt bad.
You should feel bad because
there was.
You can't appreciate that. You're not smart
Yeah,
enough.
no, I know. I felt like, believe me, the whole time I was sitting there, I was like, "Oh,
It's just
Sam's
not what
gonna
you're
be
into.
so
Why
mad."
is he gonna be so mad?
It was just, and like other people, like it's someone's dream. Like it was like it was fucking me.
All you gotta
Oh
do
my
is
God.
just stand up, turn around, and look at everybody, and meet all their eyes, so they know that you
That
know.
would make my mom cry. Like
I saw
that
Jack.
seat. Oh, you saw Jack from
Yeah,
Real
yeah,
Radio.
yeah.
Actually, the
Yes.
program director of Real Radio 104.1, your boss.
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah, not ours either.
he was 3 rows behind. No big deal. I was like, when
Why
I
you
was,
got to do that, man?
when
Why
I,
you gotta do it?
I was thinking of like, what if like I fell into the the
You'd ruin
guy
the show.
who's playing piano like
Oh, you
like,
started doing the like, what if I jump off the cruise ship?
No.
You started doing that.
like what if I got up to go to the bathroom and I fainted
What if I
and
push
fell?
this guy into his piano?
No.
What if I smash his face into the piano a bunch of times?
I'm surprised there wasn't like a
your
wall or
drink like
something.
a cat.
I'm just sitting there. I'm like, the guy.
What if I
is-
squirt a little bit of pee over his shoulder? Why would you do
It was
something like that?
amazing.
Were you
Because
thinking
I
about it the whole
can.
time? Let me ask you a couple of
also,
questions.
the people at Dr. Phillips know me, which also is like I because my wife is not impressed by anything I do.
Yeah,
or
Shania Twain.
And she doesn't think I accomplished that much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's like you know.
He don't accomplish much.
I think, and that's what I think she thinks.
I'm gonna have to write the song. I don't
Like-
accomplish much.
Like, are some people's like
Got the
significant
moves,
others
but have you
like
got the touch?
Brendan, is Scotty impressed by, like, is he impressed by your career, your accomplishments? Does he tell you, like you're really awesome at what you do? Or
He drives you around.
He does sometimes.
I see him driving you around when you're in your get-ups.
And drag.
Like,
Yeah.
is he a fan of what you do?
You know what? I think it's all deeply inside. I think there's a lot of FOMO. Because, like, when I met him, he had a radio show on WPRK talking about theater, and he would bring me on, and I thought it was the biggest BDE energy. Like, I was so into it.
You were into the radio guys.
Yeah. I
You
didn't
fell
know I
in love
was.
with a radio guy.
And he was writing for, like, the paper.
That's a
like-
big deal,
and, like,
yeah.
he was doing all the things, and then I feel like I kind of was so into it, I stole it all from him, and now he doesn't do any of it. And so I feel like there's a little bit of envy, you know, sometimes. So, and I can't rub it in his face too much. But whenever I like have a moment of like, oh, I suck at this, oh, I don't deserve this, he'll like look me in the face and be like, you got this.
No, okay, support.
Oh my
That's
God,
weird.
that was such a touching support staff story. My God, like, no, seriously, he doesn't. Yeah,
Chris
I
is like,
think
don't do that. You'll never do it.
Oh my God, you're such a fucking idiot.
Yeah,
Well,
you're
what the
fail.
fuck are you doing?
She's called me the R word.
He'll walk in sometimes and be like, did you really just post this on Instagram?
Do you know
Like,
what
were you
do you know what our wives call us?
What?
R word and M word. R word and M word.
M?
Yeah.
You know.
Now do the math, Brendan.
I know.
We didn't
what do
practice
you
that.
think
I
it
promise
means?
we didn't practice that.
But You know what it is? I think even Giselle Bundchen.
You got sex last night.
Oh, Munchin.
You got some
not
munchin'.
last night. It was a couple. But the
hopefully with your wife.
You know what it is? I think whoever, if you're impressed by someone when you first meet them, like living with them and being married to them or being with them for a certain amount of time, you'll realize that there's not much special to them. And I think that's what happened. Right? Because
that happened to me with Andrea. it wore off. I believe. Okay,
there's a normal.
I used to have a therapist.
Like the rest of us.
I used to have a therapist that would tell me, and he would warn me earlier when I was like dating. He'd say, "Don't blow your load when you're like dating people. Don't over try. Don't do all the party tricks." He's like, it's the equivalent of just you're blowing your load. He's like, then you'll have nothing to share. Like, I don't know if this has like made me a worse person or not, but I remember this therapist telling me this, I think with Andrea, I've shown her everything I have to offer, and I have nothing left to offer, and now she's entirely bored, and she also understands that not only is she bored, but she offers more to the relationship than I offer.
I 100% disagree.
Okay.
And I know Andrea loves you so much. The way that she looks at you guys when you're out in public, she loves you. You're so.
But she loves him like a nurse loves a patient.
Yeah, R word, M word.
Yeah,
which is great. That's great.
Yeah. Like, and then there's a certain thing where, like, you love each other, but you're not really impressed by them as much as you were at the very beginning.
So then, do you want to do more to impress them? Do you want to step it up and do some different things?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I used to have some yank in this town.
I
don't know if you saw on the wall out there, but 2015, I was the big shot. Orlando's greatest big shot, or whatever the fuck.
On Orlando Week.
Yeah.
This impressed
I've won
Crystal.
that.
Like, when I walked into the media table, the lady's like, "Oh, Tom Van, I got your tickets right here." I'm like, "Hey, Blue, I didn't act surprised, Brendan, but I could not believe that the person knew who I was."
I hope it was, "Oh, yes, Tom Van, we have your tickets right here." And then she leans in and goes, "I'm sorry, but we had to give you front row."
By the way, I fully
hope
walked
that's
in there.
to your standards, sir.
We know you prefer the box.
We know that you like the upper box, but you will have to be behind the orchestra this time.
I fully walked in there expecting for me to be like, "Is there
been in the
tickets under
corner,
Tom Van?" They're like,
obstructed view, motherfucker.
or them being like, "No tickets for you. Get the fuck out of here!"
Don't you ever come back, and don't touch our fucking gummy bears.
I mean, there's been multiple.
I love their gummy bears.
Multiple times
gummy bears in town
in my life that I've been like, someone's supposed to leave tickets under Tom. They're like, they look through it like, nope. And then I always sit back and I'm like, "Can you look again?" and then they look at me in the face and they're like, "There's only 4 envelopes here. Your name's on here."
I've never told this story. I offered tickets to a concert at House of Blues that were gifted to me that were loge. But I couldn't make it. So I had a couple minutes that I could zip over, get the tickets, and somebody else was going to meet me, and then I was going to give them my tickets and passes to go into loge. When I showed up and the people met me there and we were both in a hurry, there were no fucking tickets. So what did I do? I bought the fucking tickets, and I gave them to him, and I never said another fucking word about it, and I've never said this before. And I don't even think Andrea knows about it.
I like that move, because what else are you
going
going
to
to do?
From you. I learned it from watching you. I wasn't going to say anything. I wasn't going to make a big deal about it. $160 some or something.
Each or like together?
Together for
That's a lot.
for 3.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Well,
You
it's
were
a
very nice.
stinger for when you just were trying to get some free tickets.
I don't even think I care about the money as much of the, "I'm sorry, there's nothing here."
What?
That hurts more, right?
Yeah.
I hate the embarrassment of it not being set up because it makes you
The
look like
disappointment.
and then you feel like a cheapskate, especially when you have somebody standing there that's going to get the tickets and they know that you're buying them now.
I really messed up. I was supposed to go to the Florence and Machine show, and I got an email that said I can't have a photo pass, but I clearly immediately forgot that I did not have a photo pass, and I showed up with all like the equipment
your
to
gear.
take pictures,
Yeah.
and they were like, "You can't come in. Maybe you need to go to the security people." And I went, and they were like, "No, you need to get rid of all this stuff before you can come in." And I kept trying to get in, and finally they got a hold of their marketing person. They're like, "Brendan, we clearly sent you an email. You acknowledged the email. You can't bring this stuff in. You need to go." And I had to turn and spin around and leave, and I missed the whole concert.
Oh,
So
man.
stupid.
Yeah.
And that's my story. See, I have stories too.
Well, that would make me uncomfortable because at the end there's no resolution. It was just like, go home.
And now I'm never gonna get invited back.
Yeah, and that's a pretty damn good band too.
So
did you rap along?
So stupid.
It was I mean, it's an impressive show.
Did you rap?
Also, I've been to a couple musicals. This by far the best one because Crystal drugged me to Phantom of the Opera one year.
Awful.
They had 10 years of mine. I was like, oh god.
So now that you've had this seat,
I'm like, this is good.
Let me ask you this: now that you've had this seat, and I haven't experienced Broadway from that close. Is the music louder being behind the pit?
Ooh.
Or is it balanced in a way that it's just fine? Because that place is engineered to like none other, like it is an amazing theater.
Well, no, I mean, it's balanced. Dude,
But like you get to see all if you wanted to like look up, you could see everybody doing everything.
I was like, I looked in the music hole and I'm like, they're playing down there.
If you had wanted to.
There's a guy with a banjo.
You could have like ruined the show. That's crazy that they did that.
But so anyway, Hamilton
They really trusted you.
I think it's there for a while.
November 20th.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Brendan, let's talk about what's going on in Central Florida.
Brendan.
I wasn't prepared.
Brendan O'Connor, neither was I. I didn't make you a theme song.
I will mention Injured
That's your
on
theme song.
That was really good.
Injured on the Go, just call Mo, justcallmo.com.
Oh, I got it.
I forgot I don't have a signal.
Well, let's talk about.
We can just talk about stuff.
Oh, do you need I can put your Wi-Fi. You need the Wi-Fi password?
I do.
Yeah, here. Do you just get it open? I'll type it in there for you.
Let's talk about the Under I-4 project because Crystal is funny. When we were driving to Dr. Phillips, she mentioned she was like, "Oh, they just canceled what they were planning on doing under I-4, and now they're going back to parking." And I don't know anything going on locally or nationally, anything. I don't pay attention to. Doesn't interest me.
Selfish.
Well, it's not even. What do I need to know about it? No. Does that help anybody?
You're my target demo. I want to get people like you to read us more.
Yeah. No, I should know because it's my community and this is where our business is, but I don't. So Crystal told me they were planning on doing like a park under there, a skate park, a basketball court.
Do you want a long story, short story?
Give us a long one.
Okay, so I-4, picture it. I-4 interstate cutting through downtown Orlando. Back in the day, I can't even remember when they started this. What, 8 years ago?
It's been a while.
Yeah, I want to say 8.
Right, Ultimate I-4. So that was coming through. They had to raise those travel lanes. So all of the overpasses that cut through downtown were raised up. Underneath that have been surface parking lots. Like if you maybe were going to like
Mako's. I used to park there every single
Saturday.
Saturday.
My go-to parking space was to park in the lot under I-4.
Because it's free.
And I walked to Big Belly Brewery for my trivia.
It used to be you had to pay, and then I get a parking ticket over parking ticket.
Oh, it was an event. There'd be a person there.
No,
there
would
was
be
a
like
machine.
A machine.
I don't remember
there was a machine, and then there'd always be some stupid bum there, and I'd walk up and he'd be like, hey, dog, I can show you how to do this. You need help? I can show you how to do it. I'm like, shut the fuck up every week.
They'd like resell you other people's tickets.
Let me press the buttons for you. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. God damn, every week.
Oh, I needed that guy.
And then one time I saw that guy shit down a pylon, and Andrea was with me.
And you're like, just get back in that blue box.
Hey, I'm shitting out a pylon.
I used to just take my old parking tickets and put it in underneath my windshield wiper, thinking that they would pass by and be like, oh, they gave this guy a ticket. Until one day.
I didn't hear anything you said because I keep thinking about this guy shitting on a pylon.
They would lean up against the pylons and shit down the pylon.
So anyway, they
surprise.
They start the
voila, it's poop.
You got the accent wrong.
like
Grover.
You made it a Muppet show.
It doesn't sound like a Muppet.
Not that cute. It was not that cute.
So,
what do you think's under cone number 2?
Think the movie.
No.
Think the movie.
That's Canadian Muppet.
It was Gringos Locos.
Think Black Snake Moan. Think that. And you'll get the guy. You'll picture him.
So they started the I-4 project. Obviously, they used that area for like machinery and stuff, like bulldozers.
They raised it, and then they said the parking spots are never going to come back. It was 900 parking spots. They said instead of bringing back the parking, we're going to do a park, which is so funny because at the time people were like, how could you take our parking away? And Church Street businesses were like, we're instantly losing business right now. We're hemorrhaging people. Nobody wants to come here and park in a parking garage. We don't know what to do. And then they were like, well, too bad. We're going to do this park because we want to better connect Paramore with downtown. And then the downtown UCF campus opened up, Creative Village.
Yep.
They want it without it there. People felt like it was like a wall, and they didn't want to go back between the neighborhoods. So
I like a good wall.
Yeah. I think we need one.
Yeah, write down Billmore walls.
Like
Remember
College Park.
when we were working on one? Whatever happened with that?
College Park has walls. They've walled off streets between Paramore and College Park. Like if you're if you're going up Colonial, and you get past Edgewater. All of those streets all the way up to OBT have walls and fences built directly across from them to keep black people from coming into College Park.
You didn't need to add that last part. Yeah. I knew that. when you said they built a wall from College Park to Paramore.
My next question. I was going to ask you.
I was like, I knew exactly why they built it.
No, I was going to. Follow-up question, are those for the blacks?
I didn't think.
Yes, confirm.
We wrote that
I didn't think it was a rock climbing wall. I was like, I know why.
Read all about it. I did a story about it on Bungalow.
I was like, rich people, they looked over, they're like, we need a wall.
It's funny. The more money you make, the more walls you want.
Yeah.
You want all the walls.
It's very Helm's Deep, Lord of the Rings. Like they're looking out over the masses.
Yeah, waiting for an ice giant to storm.
Tangent. So anyway.
That's what we do.
They were going to throw everything at this park at one point. There was talks of like food truck courts. There was basketball courts and tennis. I don't know, skating rinks. And they actually had
it should
workshops.
Just be a food court on one side and a tennis court on the other.
But now
that's it.
When
just
you
courts, 2 courts,
and a permanent karaoke machine in the middle.
Yeah.
Now this would all have to be basically a concrete park because you can't have grass under this.
You could.
Concrete park. You go and you play chess with your grandpa.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that the stereotype?
Yeah, well, there was a checker park in Paramore under the 408 where a lot of people would go and hang out because it was shaded, right?
Yeah.
And then the city built this ZL Riley Park because they didn't like people hanging out under the 408, but nobody wanted to use the park because it's out in the open and you're just sweating all day.
Yeah,
so they
give us an enclosure, a tree or
right?
something. Yeah.
So all these Paramore residents just stayed
I don't
underneath.
blame them.
And then eventually they made it into a real park, but now it's gone. They secretly got rid of it during the pandemic.
Oh my God.
Oh, that sucks.
And it's gone.
Are we all indoors? Can no one leave? Take the black park. Why would they do that?
Because everybody was paying attention. This shit happens all the time. I remember
the distraction technique.
Yeah, Clear Channel did this one time where they took the opportunity. I forgot what was happening.
It was the mass firings, and they did it when there was an election result.
Was it during the election result?
It was the election results were coming out, and they were on the fence, and they were like, "Quick, fire everybody because they won't make the news," and they did it.
Yeah.
And that's what it's something like that. It's very similar to that.
But it's like I don't even blame. That's what big companies do because of PR and stuff. And I'm sure they use.
That sucks.
I'm sure
it sounds like a fun place. Or was it a
cool.
bad place?
They thought it was bad because it was a bunch of black people hanging out in public and it makes them uncomfortable or something. But now, and we kept asking them like, when is this coming back? And they're like, oh, it's just closed temporarily.
Yeah.
Until they
Can we tear it all the way down?
But the construction never started. They never did any construction. They just fenced it off to keep people from using it. And then they sent us designs saying that they moved it out from underneath the overpass.
We put it back in the sun where they hate it.
Back in the sun where nobody wants to hang out. So it's just going to be a pretty little corner that nobody goes to versus a spot where people actually hung out. It was right around the corner from Nikki's place if you've ever been to
Nikki's
exactly
place. Where you're talking about.
Super cool. So this under eye thing, they had workshops with the skating community because they wanted to build a skate park that maybe actually people would use. Not the case. We got an email, or I got a call rather, from someone who does a lot of work in Paramore saying, hey, this isn't happening anymore. And then the city said, it is happening. We've just added 500 parking spaces back to the plan. So instead of it just being park space, now it's going to be park uses, wrapped around some parking spaces. Half as many.
That sounds so half-assed.
It's hard. On one hand, I know the Church Street businesses, I know they were impacted by the lack of parking, but there's still lots of parking downtown. But Orlandoans don't want to pay for garage parking. We don't like that because anywhere else in town, you could just roll up and you're fine and it's free. But as soon as you come to downtown, there's like a service fee now that you're faced with to go to a place downtown.
What do bigger cities other than us, what are their solutions for this?
Well, it depends how big it is. Like, if you're going downtown New York, you know you're going to drop 20 to 50, 60, $100 for parking.
So it's really the culture having to adapt to what we are trying to build.
Yeah, I think they should, if they really want people to go downtown, just make it all free parking. The city, we have millions of dollars each year in the DDB, CRA. Like, they tax businesses downtown to make downtown better, right? Like to have improvements downtown.
Yeah.
They could be using that money to just be waiving fees in these city-owned parking garages.
So it sounds a bit like a little.
I don't know. I don't know what it is. I think it's a lack of vision, to be honest. But they're going through a process right now where they're trying to do a whole new vision plan for downtown. They want to rethink how downtown works. So they're doing like a comprehensive plan.
We're moving our studio downtown. Oh, I'm not supposed to talk about that.
Oh, you are?
We're moving our studio downtown. No. We're taking over the old Latitude space.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We're leaving the torches.
Yeah.
That was my own
torches. Well, it goes with the wall we're building.
It's high tide. Isn't that high tide Harry's now?
I don't know what it is. I haven't been to, honestly, Brendan, I couldn't tell you. If you asked me, draw a picture of downtown to save your family's life, I'm like, well, they're dead. Because I haven't been downtown. It seems like I haven't been downtown in 5 years.
It's different. And we have a new placemaking director downtown.
What is a placemaking director?
Placemaking is when you this is the boilerplate phrase, is when you make a space into a place. So you're investing to make it more people friendly and people centric.
So you're kind
like
of
a destination.
Like a designer almost.
Yeah, it's a design solution to public space. So like instead of it just being like an alleyway, how can you make that alleyway into a place like a destination or that people want to hang out at?
Destination alleyway.
We
just solved it.
Something there.
So what I found funny, Brendan, is when you told me that you got a bunch of hate emails from skaters.
What are you, anti-skateboards?
That because
I followed it up with a post about a skating event at Ace Cafe. So I was like, since you're all looking, here's a skating
There you go.
event.
Since you're here, captive audience.
So I guess they took out the skate park version.
The skate park version is not there anymore. Yeah. So, but there's still a lot of really interesting components to it. Like it's better than it was. And it's going to be infinitely better than just a parking lot, right? Like there's going to be still some gathering spaces.
It's a best of both worlds kind of thing.
Yeah, very like Tulum kind of entry gateways, like wood and sculptures, and they're going to have projections everywhere.
We're going to look like a Moroccan bazaar down there. Like hang some kerchiefs, and next thing you know, I'm like a spy running through the alleys.
If the park's Moroccan.
Yeah, don't come a knocking. Yeah, why? Like, is that part? Or is that the alleyway and what you're describing? Is that have something to do with our history, or is that just what they want?
It's just what they want. They're applying technology. Like they have a projection on one of the new bike trails, and they really like how it worked out. Then they did a whole park called Luminary Green over in the downtown UCF campus.
We love projectors.
And it's tons of projectors. Like it's going to be really neat actually what they're doing. And so now they want to apply that to the whole under treatment of the I-4 so it could like look like a waterfall or you're in a jungle. Like it looks
that
pretty
sounds
real.
Insane to me. It also, I can see the anger in Tom's eyes. Like you're so mad at jungle.
No, fine.
He hates jungle holograms. Brendan, don't you fucking know that? How dare you guys? Like I saw fire in his eyes.
It just seems like
it seems weird to say like, what are you spending your money on? They're like, we're making the under I-4 a jungle hologram. Right?
What I get mad about
it
is that and I'll never look at it or care again, but for sure, when you look at how much money is spent on a particular,
they need it.
Yeah,
but what do you do when you go?
Nobody
downtown?
goes down there.
Nobody goes down there. You need things that are going to keep people coming back.
I agree. You need I'm all for renovating everything and making things better. But what I'm saying is the government is horrible at spending money, and they will wait a minute. Hold, these projectors cost $87,000. You know, like you start getting the bills like an insurance company. Like this Band-Aid costs $84 and
the
everything.
ones they're using are easy to swap out and have a long shelf life. I asked that too.
All
I was
right,
like, how much?
yeah.
Because I know, especially projectors and stuff, when you talk about lumens.
Yeah, mine was pretty expensive, and it's like a piece of shit. Like seriously,
Yeah.
like I have it for Halloween, and it's not good, and it was pretty expensive.
I'm walking the line of I think it's really interesting. I like that.
I'm open to it.
They're
Yeah.
moving forward. It's better than it was.
It's exciting to do something, to get some change.
I feel really bad for the skating community though, because they really did. They were really excited to have like a public skate park that you don't have to pay to use.
Right.
Yeah,
Like we have one at Festival Park, but I guess there's just a lot of weird feelings about it. The skating community as a whole.
They don't like that park?
I guess that's what I was seeing on the comments, because people are like, we have nowhere to go for skating. And I would be like, well, why? Like, why do you think about this one?
Sure.
And they treat it different. Like, I guess there's different styles of skateboarding.
Yeah,
that
the
you have to
scooter
pay
kids
more.
took it over. That's why the goddamn
did you hear
scooter
that?
kids. That's
Really?
what Tony tells me. He's
Okay.
God.
He's like, because it's easier. Scooter is easier, so there's a
Fucking
whole
scooter asshole.
whole generation of scooter kids.
God damn it!
It used to,
I hate scooters.
when I was younger, like
Just pick up your scooters.
Yeah.
Why are they just leaving their
You're supposed
scooters?
to use your feet, not your hands and your feet.
when I was younger, like
that a sex thing?
at skate parks, you used to be shamed if you brought your rollerblades. Like,
Oh, yeah.
like the
Most
skateboard
of the
kids.
skate parks in DeLand
Well,
wouldn't
that's-
allow. They were like,
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
a skate park. We only do skate park stuff. No
Yeah.
BMX. We're a skate park.
And the
You want to do BMX?
rollerbladers-
Go to the BMX park.
And they want a place to go. The rollerbladers,
Segregation.
because rollerbladers that's hot right now. Rollerblading.
Yeah,
I've seen
his
it all over
son's
the TikToks.
rollerblade.
Yeah.
Well, they could go to the beach where you're supposed to rollerblade, like the
good point.
original California games.
Yeah,
where
you're supposed to have on like a pair of bike shorts.
Yeah.
You have the zinc on your nose, and you go rollerblading.
You dodge the cracks
Yeah.
and you jump over the beach
And if
ball.
you're a
I've seen it.
girl, you have to have a thong over your leotard. Over.
I tried to do that with a Halloween costume.
It doesn't work with boys. Yeah,
Moose knuckles.
lumpier. Yeah, I tried it too. It looks gross.
Oh yeah, it's a meaty tuck.
So, Brendan, anything else going on locally we should know about?
Yeah, do you want to talk about events and stuff?
Yeah, hit us, man. I love this part.
What do
of
we
the
got
show.
going on?
All right, there's lots happening.
All right.
Let me pull it up. Well, first, there's a new taco restaurant downtown that everybody needs to go to.
Oh, really?
Taco Cat.
Okay.
It's an old Cleo's Lounge space.
Taco Cat.
Yeah.
Is that a chain?
No, it's local. So it's the TMG guys. Have you met them yet?
TMG guys.
Romy Mawardi.
That sounds familiar.
They
Maybe
own
I have.
everything. They're buying everything. They own Mathers, Celine. You know, like they.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't believe I've ever met them. or him.
I'll introduce
or
you.
her,
You
or
probably
them.
come on the show.
Brendan, you reminded me of something before we continue that me and Crystal.
Yes, I'm gay.
What? Me and Crystal were talking about last night because we were in downtown and we were talking about downtown because we used to go there a lot and now we
What
get
was it like
older.
going back, man? Probably pretty fun.
Well, we started talking about how we imagined that everybody's cell phone has now taken away a certain aspect of going downtown, and the fact that before like so much information was prevalent and social media and everybody got their information like that. I feel like a lot of people would just wander downtown because you're like, well, something's going on.
Yeah, let's see what's happening.
Let's see
look, there's Wall Street's got an event.
It was a destination of like you knew something.
Man, you're making me feel old because that's the way I used to go downtown.
And I realized I saw this happening as like I go to get my smoothie every morning, and now like even if I'm in Miami and I don't know where's the closest Planet Smoothie, like I looked. I was staying at Turkey Leg's house, and I type in Planet Smoothie, and it was weird. It was in a weird industrial location that like behind the falls down in Miami.
It's a lunch spot for downtowners. Yeah,
But what I realized, like this place would never be here 20 years ago because no one ever drives down these roads. But you don't need to anymore. It used to be like heavily trafficked areas.
Sure.
You put a business there so you get passerby.
Foot traffic.
And
yeah.
now you don't need that because everybody puts a destination in their phone, and I imagine that
you're right.
That downtown got diluted.
We wander less now
because
we purposefully drive. Yeah, you're right. I agree with that.
And so because we wander less, I imagine that like a area like Church Street and like certain Central and stuff where all the bars are at.
Church Street's original when the station and everything was there. It was made to wander. It had
You
a
just
bunch
went
of
there,
curious
yeah.
shops, and the
Yeah.
whole idea was to hit all the shops, hit the bar, hit the arcade. You know, you were
So like through placemaking, like what we're finding out is downtown doesn't have as many discoveries for people. And like if you want people to walk places from A to B, you want them to be able to wander and discover things along the route. Right, as they're encountering
you're
things,
right.
and that's how you keep people coming back,
Like a
because
theme
it's
park.
more interesting, and that's what Disney Springs does a great job.
They nailed it.
Because there's cute murals around every corner. They have little stages.
Those
for
are
people
all
to do
photo
busking.
spots. Yeah, like like you're talking about
Yeah.
these projectors would be like a photo stop or something like that
Yeah.
for people. And then Disney does another thing where they almost give it more of a street vibe by hiring top tier. Performers, magicians, drummers,
And that could all
dancers,
be applied
and
to
they
downtown.
weave it in, and it looks very natural. Like I
Yeah.
don't know, you've been out there a bunch of times, but they make it look like the guy is
Yeah.
just one of us, and he just
I had
happens-
a meeting with
cool.
the new placemaking director, and I was like, why don't you guys just sit down with the people who plan Disney Springs and just see what some of their ideas are for downtown Orlando? I guarantee they have some.
Now the problem is Disney Springs knows that 100,000 people, a week that's a destination for the. So there's not ever a shortage of people there. So
Right,
like
you're
no
right.
matter what they build, it's gonna be there's
So
gonna
captive.
be
I mean, everyone wants to
30,000
be
a
there.
day going
Yeah,
through
probably
there.
more than that.
But downtown doesn't have that luxury because I mean I'm sure after
They want to
COVID hurt
capture
them.
3%. That's
Yeah.
That's what like Visit Orlando and down like the
That's
DDB and the
doable, I
CRA.
believe.
They just want to capture 3% of those tourists that are going down to downtown Disney and the parks every year.
And I think you
that
can
would
do
be
that.
Game changing for downtown, but you're not going to do that unless it's an exciting experience downtown.
Because like now that we're working with solar bears, like in my mind, I think about these like dream times where like, because next time I do it, I'm gonna go a little earlier. I mean, there's an idea where I go downtown, I park at a restaurant, me and Maisie and Andrea all go to eat, and we're walking around downtown. Then we walk over to the Amway and we take in the hockey. You know what I mean? Like, I like to make it a full thing.
You see the bum again, but
Yeah,
this,
shitting on the
but,
pylon.
but this time he's like, I'm in the jungle.
I'm gonna shit on the jungle.
$87,000 projector.
And Lake Eola's gonna get completely redone. They're doing like a new plan for Lake Eola. Have you seen those? Really, really like Lake Eola is cool. It's functional as it is, but it's not really built for like even the events that it's having. It's kind of overburdened. Like their electrical system for people who do festivals is crap.
Their backline sucks. Anything that I've ever been around there when you have to plug in like restaurants or a beer tent or some, it's garbage.
And so they're going to overhaul all of that, but they're also going to have like a little boardwalk that kind of goes along the lake.
That's exciting.
It's going to be really, really. We have all those plans. You can just type Lake Eola and I don't know.
Bungalower.com?
On bungalower.com. Yeah, we have a little search bar there.
They still do the farmer's market?
Yeah, every Sunday.
Your wife loves the farmer's market, man.
Well, let me tell you why
Do
I don't like farmer's markets.
He answered my question. I didn't even get it out of my mouth.
I
was going to say, do you like a farmer's market? He's like,
just leave it in your mouth.
Now that we're talking about farmers.
Here's why I don't like farmers markets, because as I'm walking, minding my business.
I would have bet you like them, but I guess go ahead.
I inevitably will see a person sitting behind their table of wares, right? Of stuff that they're
But
selling.
nobody's stopping by there.
Yes, and then they're sitting
I
there.
know you so well.
And then as I'm walking by, I'm like, oh my God, don't look at me. And then if they look at me, I feel like a dickhead if I just keep walking.
Would you like to try some of my homemade beard butter?
Yeah, because I imagine it's
great stuff. Brats? It's great.
Like it's telling them like I don't want your shit because like I'm just walking by and they're just
like you're
sitting there.
doing at a kiosk in the mall where you're like, he's got to
Yeah,
let me
yeah.
spray you. Let
Does
me
that
spray
make you
you.
feel bad? Is that why?
Yeah,
like,
of
you
course
just
it
feel
makes
like
me
you're
feel-
being a shit person.
Yeah, he projects like
Because
his feet. Like
they have to pay to be there, and they unloaded their car.
Yeah,
and
he's
they
like,
had
oh
to
my
dri-
God, nobody's buying that guy's beard butter.
Yeah, and then so they set up their
That's
table.
how I ended up with a hand carved spoon.
You're like, Tom?
I felt bad. This
Oh,
guy.
don't feel
There was an
bad.
old man and he was whittling spoons. It was in Sanford at
you
some
like,
something
man?
in Sanford.
Would you like one of my old man Sanford spoons? And then you felt
Yeah,
bad.
I was like, I'll buy that big old ladle right there, sir.
Yeah, how much was it?
I like $10, $20.
Oh my God, you guys are suckers. I don't buy into this garbage at these stupid
was
bazaars.
cute.
It's a bunch of trash.
I use it to stir my pasta.
Oh my God, these people just try to hawk their trash at these horrible markets. I hate a horrible market.
Oh, if it's crap, like, and that's the problem with our farmers markets. They're not farmers markets. These are maker markets. Like
Yes, trash market.
and
I call them garbage. I call them garbage bazaars.
When I worked for the city of Winter Park in the sustainability department, and one of the jobs that I was about to do before I got let go.
Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh at that.
It's okay. I reported my boss for stealing, and then I got mysteriously let go.
You never told us your whole backstory. We need your origin story. You're a superhero. Oh my God.
Hold on, tell us.
You're a gay man.
You reported your boss for stealing?
Yeah.
Who'd you report him to?
To HR for the city of Winter Park. Yeah, and then I didn't know about like whistleblower stuff.
I'll never report Tom for stealing.
What was he stealing?
Like money. Like he was going for his master's and he was using city funds to pay for all his school books.
That's awesome. Genius. Who would have guessed our response?
And it was it was Keep Winter Park Beautiful. It was a nonprofit. So it's like we raised those funds. I raised a lot of those funds for him. I was really
and he's using it for his own
college. You paid for his college? Oh my God, you're his dad.
Yeah. I started as an intern. He helped me. He got me to help him move out of his apartment up 3 flights of stairs, and I like did all this stuff for him.
Oh, by the way, I've done that at Champs.
How old were you? Like a younger Brendan?
Like 20s. Yeah.
Okay, so like
I wanted the job.
Right.
There was a promise of a full.
So you're helping out.
Yeah, and I was like, I'll do whatever it takes.
I was that guy. I know that. I know that well.
It was a better time when you could ask your interns to do personal shit for you, and that was and then they
Go
do
give
it.
me a sandwich, you piece of shit.
Where your intern job didn't have to like the stuff you did had nothing to do with the actual job that you wanted to learn about. It was just washing the guy's car.
I'll tell you, he was such a dirtbag. This guy, I'm not going to say his name. He's such a dirtbag. He and his wife they just got married very young. They bought a house and they went on a honeymoon. And then me and all the people from Keep Winter Park Beautiful went and helped with the lawn at the house that they bought. Like we fixed it up. We like raked it because it was gross. It was so overtaken. Because we thought this was their forever home. That's what they were telling us. A year later, they sold it.
You redid the lawn.
This guy's awesome. I bet you have a lot of stories.
Oh, yeah.
This guy's great. Oh, man.
I don't even know when I started that story.
Awesome lawn. My interns
just done by my gay intern. He's fucking great. He's fucking great. Top-notch bushes. He peed in them, and you never saw his hands. He was doing his dad taught him the pee-pee in the bush trick.
How did you know? Because let's just if I put myself in that situation and I'm stealing government funds to give myself, I would damn sure make sure that the interns that didn't have any access to the goddamn records or whatever, hiding it.
At that point, I was a staffer.
Okay.
I had come back, like they hired me again, but he wanted me to be an intern, and I said, no, I don't want to be an intern anymore. If you want me to come back, I'll do part-time. And he said, sure. But he never changed that in the HR thing, so he had me filed as an intern.
Dude, that was you. You worked as, like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, off the books.
So when I reported him to HR, he said, oh, well, we're out of funds now for his position. And then they let me go, and I was like, don't I need notice or something? And they're like, no, we don't owe you any notice. You're an intern. And I was like, no, I have a contract. Let me go print it out from my computer. He had me locked out of the computer.
Yeah, this guy's a fucking badass. I shouldn't be rooting for him. I'm sorry.
Oh, at this point, it's funny.
It's like a movie. I'm rooting for this guy.
Well, how'd you find that he was taking the funds?
Because I had access to the bookkeeping, because I was really the only one doing the bookkeeping, because I would do their Earth Day celebration in the park.
Birthday? Oh.
No. Like Eugene Snowden, like we hired Eugene to come perform at Earth Day. We had cardboard box robots.
I remember that.
Yeah, that was my event.
Yeah, that was a great event.
We got a national award for that.
Yeah, that was a great event.
Yeah.
So when you told HR, I always like it when you report something you think is a super groundbreaking,
and they don't care? That was what you and I did. That was what we did. We go to our higher-ups and we report something, and they're like, yeah, we don't fucking care.
They're like, who's doing what? Oh, okay, well, right. If we filed it.
I'll get right on that.
Nothing helped. Yeah, they're like, well, just stick around. Maybe in a couple months we'll have funds for your position again.
What's this guy doing now?
Yeah.
Is he in town?
Did they tell you? County, last I heard.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in the planning division.
By the way,
oh, wow.
This is what's wrong with our government. But like people, like there are people stealing shit everywhere there because guess what? It's flim flam. No one's paying attention and shit. Like everybody hates their job, doesn't care. They're just writing it out. So then you get the scammers in there stealing government funds.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine across our entire country how many people are stealing like tax money? Like that shit was charity. You know what I'm saying? Like it's because
no, it was crazy. Yeah,
there's no oversight at all, and it's all a shit show.
We worked really hard to get those funds too. You know,
it sucks.
Yeah, when we started, they didn't do anything. You know, and by the end, we had all these cool, fun programs. And
by the way, there are people that I bag on people or the government a lot, but there are people that actually care and stuff, and they a lot of times
the sad part.
And they are good people that I want to make a change and stuff, but they get tired of seeing this shit and the scammers and stuff, and then they move on. And it's like, no, we need the people that care, that are doing this to better the community, better they actually want to do good.
Yeah,
I love that job. I wanted that job forever.
When you lose the people that care about your city and want to help it make it be a cool place, it gives me the same feeling of when I see my teacher friends decide that they don't want to do it. But when I first met them, they had all the passion in the world and they love the kid. You know what I mean? Like I get that same feeling.
That system just beats them down.
Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate that it grinds them down to a point where then they'll actually choose something that they like less because it's less stressful and less hurtful for them. You know, it becomes an emotional response, and that sucks.
So let's talk about one more thing going on.
You have one more.
Do you want to talk about? Yeah, we didn't even do events.
Okay.
Is that a guy's chicken guy pop socket?
Yeah.
How is chicken guy?
It was good.
The sauces are better than the chicken, I've heard.
They bring you every time I go there. It's for like a media thing, and they'll give us like 100 sauces.
Yeah,
they'll give us all the little ramekins.
I think that's his gimmick, is that I got all the flavors.
We have that cock block shirt.
Yeah,
have you seen that? Yeah. So you could, because that section of 1792 in Winter Park has like 1 million fried chicken restaurants. They just keep opening fried chicken restaurants there, so you can get the shirt and you check it off as you go to all of those chicken restaurants.
Yeah, it's kind of like the shirts that people used to do for Epcot.
Yeah.
On the back of it, they're all the restaurants. So when you get the chicken sandwich and you share it, you just mark it off your back.
Cock block or chicken strip, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. I like cock block.
I mean, it makes sense. Fried chicken is good. And it's like, of course, just make more.
Yeah, it's awesome.
People eat it.
It's delicious.
Just make more. That was Jay Leno, Cool Ranch Doritos. Remember that? Quite all you want. They'll make more.
Oh, tonight, if you want, the Kissimmee's doing a big event downtown in the historic district. It's Boo on Broadway. They'll get like 6,000 people. It's a huge street party with live music and DJs and stuff. And you can take the Sunrail. We just did a promo thing for them. They added a 9 o'clock train coming back to the north. So you could go down on the Sunrail for $2.
How did they get an operator that stays up that late? Also, I never.
Well, there's still one at 10, so you could come back at 10 too. But
that's awesome.
No, it's really neat. They're decorating the train station like Stranger Things.
Oh, very
cool.
Upside down.
Very cool.
I'll never go to Kissimmee for anything.
You know what?
I just telling you what I feel.
I was going to say that, but I was going along with it. But when you said, I've got some Kissimmee news, I'll pass. But I went with it.
I'm joking around.
I went with it. I was given the yes
No.
I
was born in Miami.
Yeah. His grandfather
Some of my best friends are
His grandfather lived in the Kissimmee St. Cloud area.
St. Cloud.
Yeah, you would pass
They
through.
hated Kissimmee. My pop-up would tell me.
It was interesting. As soon as it flooded, all of those car people came up to Orlando to do their takeovers. You know, have you seen that?
No. What are you talking about?
They'll have all
the trucks,
the cars, like muscle cars and stuff. They'll shut down intersections and do tricks and stuff and spin out, and then traffic will back up forever.
We got to do it here because we're flooded.
Yeah, so they moved out. They were doing it in Kissimmee. They do it on like Cimarron and stuff, like on big roads.
Oh,
nothing's gonna stop my burnout.
And they started doing it in downtown Orlando after the hurricane because there's nowhere else for them to go.
And then I've seen that before, and they'll just be doing like drifting circles around, and everybody will be stopped in traffic or whatever. What is it? Is it just
and then the cops can't get to them because the cops are all because their traffic's so backed up. They'll see the traffic, the sirens and stuff coming, And they'll have enough time to hop back in their cars and peel off and go somewhere else.
Well, how do they get out? Like, I've always wondered that. Like, so yes, they're in there.
Let's go the other way.
There's traffic in every intersection backed up because you've stopped.
Well, I think they already have a way out.
Oh, so they leave themselves open a way out.
Yeah, I watched
one of
those
the cops
videos.
coming in that way.
Well, I mean, they're not smart enough.
They figure that out.
You
by
know
now.
cops, they're not smart enough to do that. Show me a cop buddy of yours that knows how to get in the secret.
We shared. There's I think it's on our TikTok. There's a video that was happening right by Lake Eola, and this car.
I like the ones where the bodies fly out of the car.
They flipped the car.
Oh man, it's real dangerous. Kids should not be doing that.
Monster Jam, Saturday.
Again?
Yeah.
Didn't it just come here?
In May. That was the World Finals, the World Cup.
Okay,
World
aren't
Finals.
we? You're burning it out, man. With the really? Do we need that many?
What do they do?
Like, sell out.
And I promise I'm not reliving my past here. But
is this another comment about Hispanic people?
No. He's got another one though, but it's it's at the end of the show.
Yeah. That's an after show.
You're gonna love it.
Yeah, you're not gonna Monster Jam that joke.
That's called Tom Unfiltered, his new program.
But what do they actually? What do they do for the halftime or the break at Monster Jam?
They do the standard.
Cars come out with bikinis on.
No,
and,
from what I understand, it's the standard. It's Georgia versus Florida Quad Wars.
Okay.
It's a crash or a crash-like DJ with a key, and he has 8 of his listeners, and they all have a key, and they might win a brand new Chevy Silverado.
Okay,
it's the standard. Yeah,
there's no more
it's the
any sort of like one-off jumping of any sort.
You know what? I say this.
It'll die with
not
me.
even as a joke. You were that guy, and you are that guy, and there's no other guy.
It'll die with me.
It will die.
There
with
will
you.
never be another one.
No, that ship has sailed. They're
You
too
know how they
litigious
do
now.
the-
It'll never happen.
They do the spinny thing where it goes up. The cars can go up on their back wheels and just kind of like pirouette around.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're talking about the actual monster truck.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm
They
talking
should
about like
they should put a giant bikini on one of them and make it look like a cheerleader.
I love how horny you are. I love that. Yeah.
I'm not horny for it.
Yeah, I'm horny. I want everything to have a bikini on. I want to see everybody's tits.
That'd be
What the
great.
hell are you
Everyone would
talking
be like,
about?
and then everyone can yell at the truck, "Show us your tits!"
Yeah, then they pull the tits down. The smoke pours out of them.
Yeah, it'll have little fireworks coming out of the truck nipples.
But yeah, it's the standard, man. I asked somebody that too. And
well, isn't Monster Jam in January?
No, it's here.
It's
Are you
global.
calling me fake news right now?
No, they have multiple tours now
Oh, okay.
that run through, and it's a
Okay.
money grab. They're going to come through twice.
Gotcha.
You know,
okay.
Elton John's been on the Goodbye Yellow Brick Road tour for the last
Yeah.
25 years, I feel like. You know,
Scooter, my gay boyfriend, Scotty Campbell, has tickets to the last performance over in California.
I would love to see that.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll sell them to you.
Yeah,
Is it as real?
I get it. He wants to go so bad.
Is this a real last performance, or is it going to be like
It's his last American tour performance.
And I like that Elton now has that. Now he has become Horatio Sands Elton John. Like his voice is deeper now. You know.
Yeah.
yeah.
We saw
How old is he?
2 of his performances on
70?
this last tour.
75, 72,
He's
71.
so good.
Oh,
We think Brittany will be in this one.
He's awesome, but you know I've learned that I am after last week's show and my Billy Joel dream. I'm a Billy Joel guy. I love them both, but I think I'm a little more Billy.
We're digging.
I'm a little more little guy alcoholic than gay guy. Grew up his mom loving his mom and getting a piano.
Okay.
Yeah.
Reggie.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the name of our car.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Our dog's name is Bernie Toppin.
His partner of how many years?
It's a song like his
or
song.
his writing partner, I should say.
Yeah.
Of how many years? God, they've been together
Forever.
Forever and ever.
Yeah.
He's the music. No, he's the lyrics and Elton's the music. Right?
Yeah.
I think that's how it works.
Let's take a break.
Yes, sir.
And when we come back, we got some dump 'em out topics.
Dump 'em out!
We got some other stuff to talk to Brendan about, and I believe that's it.
It's the standard.
Oh, I want to talk about a little bit of trick-or-treating because I made a post last night on the BDM page just talking about how different it was or it is now trick-or-treating than it was in the 80s, you know, and a lot of people didn't agree, and I was like, how? Because I don't know Brendan is going to,
And I also have a Halloween voicemail that ties into my dad's favorite time of year, which was Halloween. He absolutely loved it.
It's my birthday.
But I have a couple of voicemails that we can play. I also have a pretty interesting song to play right now. The name of the band is Current Rage. They are in Athens, Georgia. Think REM style kind of alternative band. This song and this album,
my religion.
very much. This song right here is about 40 years old. They've re-released this. It's a really hard to find track, but it still holds up, and it kind of It stands the test of time, and it's on the publishing house that we work with called, I think it's Mint Records. And this is called Right Side of the Brain from the band Current Rage. And just listen to it. This is 40 years old. It's so great that they're re-releasing stuff like that.
Got a little yacht rock in it.
Yeah, a little bit. This is pure Athens alternative. We'll be back with more A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan momentarily.
It's A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan.
Put some respect on my name.
Respect our name.
I ain't gonna say it no more.
You crack-ass motherfuckers.
Welcome back to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan.
Tom.
And Brendan. That is, who was that? That is the 1975 with I'm in Love with You. Welcome back to the show, everybody. I think you know what time it is. It is time for the segment that we call Dump 'em Out.
Yeah. I'm a chest. Do it.
We got too many topics on the list today. It's the end of the motherfucking show. So come on, baby, let's dump them out and play. I want to see your topics. Ooh, I want to also see your bottomics.
Dump 'em Out brought to you by thedangerbrain.com. That's our branding agency. They just redid our branding for sofas and suds.
Oh, put that cup on the camera. That's Danger Brain. Show them Buddy.
For Bad at Business Beer Fest. They do all our branding. They could do your branding. Contact them, thedangerbrain.com. They
BC
are awesome.
Racing, Pyro Spot, who else?
A bunch of our clients.
Yeah.
Gabriella Plants.
Gabriella,
They did Bart Merrick.
Dan Cummins. They've done. We've worked with a lot of people.
So again,
but the two biggest that they've ever worked with, and I always lead with these two because it makes me happy, are Outback Steakhouse and Mountain Dew. Those are two things that I love because I am a trash person and I love Mountain Dew and I fucking love Outback Steakhouse.
And you got great teeth still.
Thank you. They're fake. No, they're real. They're real.
So, what is this first?
Pro Kadima.
Okay. Couldn't even.
My wife and I, if she would like to call in, I will yell at her. She posted on the BDM page. Do you guys know what Pro Kadima is?
No.
Sounds like a skin medication.
No, it is a wood paddle with a yellow pressed composite plastic handle and a small blue ball that you would buy in a bag at Walmart.
Oh, paddleball.
No, you motherfucker. It is called
beach paddleball.
No, it is called. I knew you would do this because you're logical like my fucking whore of a wife.
Go on.
Pro Kadima. It's called Pro Kadima.
No one calls it that.
I think it's just.
I call it that because that's what it's called.
Is it different from paddleball?
I guess that's
it's Pro Kadima.
That's the name of that sport or whatever. It's not a sport.
No,
or what
if
is
you
it?
are using paddles that say Pro Kadima on it.
Is your wife calling you?
Is she?
I don't know. Someone's calling us.
I shouldn't have said that. I didn't.
Pro Kadima.
I thought you were in a meeting.
No, I'm out of a meeting. And it is paddleball, and most people in your BDM group agreed with me. There was like one guy that was called it Pro Kadima.
Yeah, and that one guy is the only BDM I love. It is called. Look, it's called Pro Kadima. That's what it's called. Yeah. That's what it will always be called.
Is that one word, or is it like professional?
It's one word, all lowercase.
Pro Kadima.
It's spelled. I've never even seen this word before.
Yes, you have. When you're walking.
Daniel said it. He goes, "Our neighbors are playing Pro Kadima," and I said, "I don't know what that is."
And then did he hit you?
No, I wanted to, but no. But I said that's called. I said, oh look, they have Pro Kadima. She goes, what? And I go, they're playing Pro Kadima. She goes, that's paddleball. I go, no, because it says Pro Kadima on it, and it's the yellow handle wooden paddle with the blue ball.
I think it's a brand name.
I mean, it may be, but the sport's called Pro Kadima. It's not called paddleball.
You know what? You're getting real mad.
I am. I am. I'm sweating. I'm hot.
Have you ever seen anybody play?
Yes, I've played it myself.
Pro Kadima well, though? Like
no one ever plays it well.
What do you mean?
I love you, baby. I'm sorry.
Well,
hi, girl.
No, I'm right. So just accept that I'm right on this one. You can call it the brand thing, but the full general term is paddleball.
What? It's not. It's a solo game. So like, how do you play?
No, it's not solo.
No, really, two rackets and you hit it back and forth.
Yeah, on the beach. I love you. I'm getting rid of you.
Oh wait,
Goodbye.
This isn't the thing that's on the elastic band.
Oh no, that's a kid. That's
that is paddleball. That's what I was trying to tell her. That's paddleball.
Oh, that's paddleball.
That's what like idiot kids would play with in the 1950s.
Well, that's what I was like. Why
and
is
you're
even...
drooling because you're one of those. Can you say that? Can you say you're one of those?
Yeah,
or is that bad?
You can say that.
Is it a capital T those? Like those.
No. You know what that is? That's a wall. No, this is this is this is that.
I got
This
you.
is that.
Okay.
But the like
Hashtag this is that.
the Pro Kadima, like I've never seen someone or like two people hit the ball back and forth more than let's say a dozen times.
Oh, thank you. Finally in the chat room, somebody with a fucking brain in their head.
Like
this is Fresh Gardenia says, what is the game Kadima? Paddleball is a one-person toy played with an attached ball and a paddle. Paddleball or paddleball may also be referred to paddleball sport, and then he goes all the way down to the bottom, or Kadima. The name of it is Kadima, and if you're using the paddles that are wooden, that are yellow with the blue ball, it's called fucking Kadima.
Read the first sentence. It says it's the same thing. You can say both.
No. If you're move on. Move on. It's just gonna make him mad.
Pet Airways.
This is my dream job. Have you ever heard of Pet Airways?
No,
dude. This is
like...
and I want it. This is my white whale for either Tuttle or Sam or anybody that can get me in touch with somebody from the airline called Pet Airways. They only fly animals to rich people, and they have a flight attendant and everything, and they sit in their carriers are all in seats. And they don't have seats. They have like these things that they strap their carriers on, and they have flight attendants that walk by and check on them, open the door, make sure they're good. You have potty.
They fly by themselves?
They fly by themselves. Dude, it's my dream job. Can you imagine being a flight attendant on the Pet Airways? Easy breezy.
Barking all the time.
No.
It's like a flying kennel.
Yeah, but they're better than humans.
It's better
humans
than
are
humans.
horrible.
That's right. You're not going to get hurt. No fighting. No people putting a thong on as a mask.
I said that regularly to Scotty. Like, good thing we could always put the dog in a crate, but if we had a kid.
Right,
do that.
Dude. I'm telling you, Pet Airways. It's a real. I saw a thing on TV. It was like some kids program that Maisie was watching, and they were doing like, "Oh, wouldn't you like to be a flight attendant for dogs?" And then they had the lady, and she dressed just like a regular flight attendant, but instead of passing around beers and getting yelled at and fought and hit in the back of the head, and then the Chinese man getting drug off, he's bleeding and crying. Like instead of all that, you just go by, this dog needs some water. Oh, you want a treat? Like, that's all you do.
Oh, I like that.
And then I'm sure you have lower level employees. Oh, this guy's shit. Come clean this kennel out, Javier. Like stuff like that.
Remember when they decommissioned all the Greyhound tracks across the state? Was this?
I do. It was the saddest day of my life.
Hold on.
I'm glad I brought it up.
So now I may be wrong about this, and maybe there's some sort of pet psychologist or animal psychologist that could tell me I'm wrong or whatever, but I am not anti. I care about animals being treated well. I'll say that.
Oh,
like,
you certainly don't like animal abuse.
I don't want them. I don't like animals being mistreated. All that shit. Whatever.
That's nice
but
of you.
But you're also not you don't want. You're not like me. You don't want to be surrounded by 1,000 people.
No. But I don't care about the past experiences of animals, and I'll explain. Like,
okay.
Once the animal gets to my front door, I don't care how it got there or what its travels like around. Like people, like my wife will be like, "This animal was abused, and now it's got PTSD, and it's all
No, this is for like rich people that want their dogs to have the lap of luxury.
I know that, but it seems
she
weird.
Doesn't want a rescue dog.
Well, no.
She only wants rescue dogs. I went and got a fashion dog because I'm smart and I don't want warts.
So me and my wife are different.
Yucky.
But what I'm saying is
There's
that
a lot to unpack.
even if I was rich, I don't care about the dog's journey and how luxurious it was, or if it came here in an oil tanker. You know what I'm saying? Because
do you recognize that some people find that to be cold?
You should care.
You have to recognize that.
I recognize it, but I also recognize the fact that I think and believe in my heart that the dog lives moment to moment, and what it just went through doesn't. This moment only matters. Like even if it had a miserable trip.
You need to look at my dog went to the vets once. And he had a little skin sample taken. And now if he's ever near that vet office again, he flips out because he remembers that's where the ouchie happened. You just can't.
So you don't think. How do they get shaky and scared?
No. I think
you need to know about their backstory so you can help them avoid that trauma.
You know what? That's a very caring answer, Brendan.
Thank you.
Back to Tom.
My mom trains dogs. Trauma sticks with dogs.
Your mom trains dogs?
Yeah.
No shit.
Now I can. Okay, trauma.
Archaeologist and a dog trainer? Holy shit.
My point
cool.
is
funny.
whether the dog is flying in Pet Airways and there's
Pet
like
Airways,
a
yeah.
flight attendant giving it treats,
Oh,
or
okay.
it's just flying underneath the plane with all the other dogs. I think that once it gets to the destination, it's not remembering like, man, that was a tough trip. Like, I just think, like, you don't have food for me now?
Well,
Like,
see-
it's like, it doesn't matter either way.
Andrea's disagreeing with you because, like, my mom's dog, before my mom got it, was abused.
Yeah.
And she still acts like an abused dog.
Yeah.
Like, she's still, like,
That's long.
shudders when she hears a noise or is scared of everything. And, like, so, I mean,
Yeah,
obviously.
it's ruined. It
you're-
should be put down. Like, every day it's a... No, I'm just saying.
Let's move on.
Well, every day is agony. It's agony. I'm just saying, maybe it's screaming, kill me, and it's you don't know because
I
you
don't
can't
know.
communicate.
I don't know. It could be telling me to kill it.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Like when I'm scratching her ears, she does make a noise. But it could be like, kill me. You know,
Well,
I don't know.
sometimes they don't like we have Bernie's like a terrier mix. He doesn't like being held, you know, like unless it's on his
terms.
Because if you're hugging them, they feel trapped.
Yeah.
You know, in general.
Oh,
Well,
Dansby is shitting everywhere. Oh my God,
That's what dogs do. They're animals.
This guy's
Anyway.
crazy.
You got at least new, right? You got time. That's gonna be the next few months, right? Is training that dog. to go poop
Yeah.
outside?
He's actually. I'm exaggerating. He's doing quite well. He's doing
Yeah.
pretty good.
Listen, all I know is that his new dog kept him from decorating his outside of his house.
That's true.
And took a little bit of joy away from his life.
did.
And
I didn't pull up my
that's what-
hologram pumpkins.
that's
I have
what he
singing
did.
pumpkins. They're hologram projectors.
That's
Just
what
like
he
what you
did.
were talking about
You
downtown.
still have Halloween.
I'm gonna put them up Halloween night. I'm
Yeah.
gonna put them up for the Halloween night. I'm running the stolen fog
You
machine.
do it last minute. Well,
I
that's
am.
even worse because
Well,
now
I
you
thought
didn't get
you
to
would
enjoy.
love me more if I did something last minute because it would be the first time that I was actually invoking the spirit of Tom
What's the
Van.
date
No,
today?
but-
You have 3 days to do it.
Yeah. I'm gonna put it up this weekend so everybody can
Yeah.
enjoy it Monday night, and I'll take it down.
That's
But
so
at least the
great.
people trick or treating get the show, get the smoke.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, you know, it could have been done. You could have 2 weeks of joy, and now you get only 3 days of joy.
I think you know between the puppy and my own anxiety being literally like a top tier peaking, can't do it.
Why?
Because the puppy mostly.
You think it'll scare the puppy?
No, he's so much work. You can't leave him alone. You can't. He's not ready yet.
Are you crating him?
Oh yeah, but he's doing really well. He's doing
Do it
good.
when you crate him.
I'm doing kratom when he's in the crate. So sorry.
I wanted to talk about paying for adventures.
Well,
and
did Dan Stone get you on that? Because we
Like
both
hookers?
Well, Tom and I both came in and we saw Dan Stone, the voice of Real Radio, the voice of Tom and Dan.
Like mysteriously handsome man.
Yeah, he's a good-looking dude. But
Yeah.
he just got back from like a motorcycle jungle adventure.
Oh, that's hot.
And
so dope.
So I was gonna make a
into it.
post on the BDM page because I'm curious about like other people's, because Dan was talking about how awesome this was, and like my mother-in-law actually went to Machu Picchu one time, and she does these adventures with like her friends.
She did a motorcycle trek to Machu Picchu?
No, her adventure was like a guide would
With Fidel Castro.
You walked up to
Motorcycle
the
Diaries.
Machu Picchu,
But it's really
Picchu.
high if you walk it, yeah.
But you camp along the walk, and they set up a camp for you, and it's like
That's
it's a
fantastic.
camping adventure, and then the end is like you get to see that, and then they take you back with
nice.
It's an excursion, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? But it's not like a cruise ship excursion. It's
Yeah,
like people put these adventures together for you, and you pay and do them.
Curated experience.
Yeah.
You
And
guys could do that with your T&D.
I mean,
we have no time.
well, there's limited. I could take you to Lake Monroe, or go around there.
No. You get Big Tim could be like their guide, and they could book him, and then he'll take them out to the honky tonk or something.
I want a real adventure, Brendan.
Okay, he wants like something that there's like an element of danger, like driving a motorcycle through a Mayan jungle, like Dan Stone was doing, like having to navigate the terrain. You're on a bike that's like I'd look like an old 2-stroke or something. He's like going through, and
So you're actively looking now for a paid adventure? Is that the?
Well, I just like the idea of these things, and if I was going to spend money on anything, like I would spend money on adventures.
I did one. I was
Okay.
telling Tom I did one. I only did one motorcycle adventure with my dad. I drove from DeLand, Florida, on our Harleys, all the way to Virginia.
Wow.
And then we trailered him back because he was older and it was like a lot of work for him.
Well, that's the thing about there's the, I used to talk about the Miami to Alaska motorcycle trip, and there's some things like that,
yeah.
but
Ewan McGregor, David Beckham has done them. Like these,
But I don't like the long haul road because it's. In theory, it seems good because you're on a motorcycle, you're open a road.
It was terrible.
But it's just
it was
hours.
Not fun.
If
it breaks down, you're in the middle.
I mean,
not even breaking down. Just the 3 hours of riding a motorcycle, your hands go numb, your back hurts.
When we do it. I had my full motorcycle jacket on. Like I will tell you right now, I wouldn't trade it because my dad is no longer living. But I'll tell you right now, it wasn't one of my favorite things to do. It was really hard, and it kind of sucked.
So what do you want to do? What sounds good to you?
Well, there is this Costa Rican motorcycle adventure.
Costa Rica's beautiful.
That you go, you go on an enduro motorcycle, and they take you through the jungles of Costa Rica.
You go through villages too, right?
And then like you stay at these different places throughout the route, and like
awesome.
It's it's like an expensive trip. It's like $10,000 or something, but they put it all together for you. You have guides, and then it's like a full on like everything is paid for.
I don't think I could do those. Like honestly. Like, I don't think that I'm tall enough to go to a third world country and jump on an enduro and ride. I don't think they have a bike for me.
I mean, they
don't have like a pony version.
I don't think they do. R word, M word. I don't think I can't do it.
They'll get you on a little Pee-wee 50.
I'm giving you that. That's your Christmas gift.
The Costa Ricans
out like, how about a fucking pit bike? I can only do 30. I'm doing 30 behind Tom.
You can do it.
But like those, it seems cool to me. Like what Dan Stone did. And we're gonna get Dan on the show to talk about it.
I want to talk about it.
I do like those type of things.
He had like board shorts on and then he had like motocross gear on.
Is he married?
No.
But you got to do
Is
it.
he my people?
No.
No, he's your people.
He's our people. Yeah, breeder. I'm sorry.
He may have a girlfriend.
I think he does. I want to be
know.
respectful. Not my business, but
yeah.
I think he's off the market, but
So
could be wrong.
The you have to do them in a country that has less laws.
Yeah, like when I took the dune buggy through the marijuana sugarcane
because
field.
they let you do more. And
it is better.
Like you do it in the United States, there's rules. They don't like you go on a motorcycle.
I saw a Haitian child peeing in a village. Seriously, he's just
you paid for that?
No, as we were driving our dune buggy through, he's like waving to all the dune buggies because that's what they do when you arrive.
Oh, yeah.
And he's just a little kid. He's just pissing, and there's like street dogs everywhere. It's great.
Haiti.
Lovely, sad.
What's fashion starts too early? What is that?
Oh, Maisie asked me.
Oh wait, can I say I did an adventure?
Yes,
please.
You know what? I'm sorry, we're anti-gay adventures. No, please.
There was no butt stuff. I was super into my tour guide, but nothing happened.
So was Tom on that river rafting. Big Mouth, old Big Mouth. My memory's coming back.
Go ahead, buddy.
No? Okay.
My memory's coming back.
Let me save you. We in Thailand. Did we talk about this?
No.
Have we
To
talked about this before?
Thailand?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Did you do the razor blades out of the pussy thing?
Come on.
Come on. I definitely
That's
did
a thing, right?
I did the ping pong one.
You did?
Yeah. And the snake venom shot.
And you were like, come on. And then I asked the question, and he did the thing.
Well, the ping pong. I mean, the razor blade is more.
It's just $15 more, I think.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah, they do the razor blades with a string of razor blades. They do the ping pong ball. They blow out the candle.
Yeah.
Did they do the candle? Where they pussy fart on the candle?
No, come on.
They pussy fart the candle out, and they have such good kegels that they can. It's like a. Poof it out.
I heard that for the ping pong.
Yeah,
we did hear a noise for the.
Did you have a guy there that caught it in his mouth?
No,
I've seen that on the documentary.
She gave it to someone.
Yeah, they give it to you. They sign it, and they're like, "Here, a souvenir, a ping
You
pong
have to
ball
pay
out of my
for
pussy."
it.
I'm not putting that in my mouth.
Yeah. Well, some guys catch it in their mouth,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
I guess they take it home. They put it in their suitcase, or they fly home.
It's fun. Bangkok is crazy. Bangkok was insane. Yeah.
It's disrespectful if you take your napkin and you hold
And wrap it.
Yeah, what is it? It's not a chicken nugget that fell on the ground.
Just
It's a
fold
ping
it
pong
up, put it in your pocket for
Yes.
later.
So what'd you do in Thailand?
Well, you can do a jungle trek up on in the north part of Thailand. It's like right next to, I want to say Burma, which it's not the name anymore, but it was like mountain villages. So you hike for like a week and a half through the jungle.
A week and a half?
Yeah, it was long.
You
I
did
lost,
this?
Yeah, I lost like 20 pounds. It was
Okay, this is different than my adventure. Mine, I just drove dune buggies through a marijuana sugarcane field.
I want 3 days of motorcycle riding, get drunk, and then I'm out.
It was crazy. We did the
Was
hike.
your dad with you?
No, it was me and my friends that I met at Disney, and then we.
Hey,
just
you guys
went
want to
over
go
there,
through a jungle and like camp for a week?
smoked weed, and looked at snakes in the jungle, and then we would stay with these hill tribe people that had like pigs underneath your hut, and it was crazy. We didn't get enough protein. We ate cicadas, and then at the end we got to ride on elephants and go White River rafting in like bamboo rafts. That was how we got out
is
of
fucking
the jungle.
You rode elephants?
Yeah, and it didn't want us on its back. It kept putting its trunk in its mouth to suck out saliva, and then it would spray the saliva all over us. We were covered in elephant snot. It was so gross.
So
Yeah.
was this a
This
tour?
is nuts.
It was the most passive-aggressive elephant. Yeah.
Oh my God, they're riding me again.
Well, you know, there's no PETA over there. So it's like,
And if
I
you're
don't know,
Tom, you don't care what this thing's doing. You just slap its ears. It's like,
It was
whatever, give me a
beautiful,
ride.
though. You can wash them in the river.
Come
when
on,
you get to the
Dumbo,
river.
get moving.
What did it cost? Per person?
It wasn't much. I feel like it was like $100.
$100 for a week and a half?
Yeah, it wasn't much. We were there in Thailand for 5 months, and I spent like $3,000.
5 months in
Yeah.
Thailand.
Why
Or
just-
$4,000.
How do you have the
Why'd you
freedom
spend-
to go to Thailand for 5 months?
Well, we were doing anything. It was like after working at Disney, and then I was not sure what I wanted to do in Canada, so we just all went backpacking. It was so fun.
So this is more of a back. Like Brendan. I'm
That's
talking
an
about.
adventure.
Yeah, but I want to pay big money
Yeah,
and then
and
be
he wants
pampered.
3 days and out.
I don't want a week and a half in a goddamn jungle losing. I'm like eating bugs and shit.
Yeah,
And that's a
cicadas.
I
survival.
looked
Jesus.
real cute.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
came out like so skinny.
Yeah. I want to be pampered. I want the person to set up
Okay.
my
When did you
muffins.
decide to go
Like,
home?
I want to go out of my tent and there's muffins.
Yeah.
And then I eat the muffins.
Yeah,
I'm
like
high.
River Ranch.
Yeah.
I like that old lady put the cinnamon buns in my tent.
Oh,
that's
cinnamon
nice.
bun. Yeah, and then some days I don't want to eat them. Like,
do
I'm
those
I'm like, fuck these cinnamon buns. I'm sick of all this opulence.
What?
God, I need to get home.
Just go to Africa or something. Go like on
yeah,
safari.
Man, he ain't gonna do that.
Glamping safari.
He just got back from Hawaii.
Oh, that
Yeah.
sounds nice.
Yeah, it's
too.
nice, right?
So the Thailand adventure,
Uh-huh.
and then at the end of it, you got onto some sort of Huck Finn like raft,
Yeah.
and then
And it turned out it was a water festival. I can't, like, it was like April or something when it was happening. So
Water festival.
And that's everybody like throws buckets of water. It's like a massive water fight like across the country for like a day or two.
Thailand
In
does a
Thailand.
big water fight?
It was so fun. It was crazy. There were people like drinking Thai whiskey along the river, and they'd all have squirt guns and they'd spray us, and it felt like it was just for us. And then as we got out,
Is this what made you gay? Is this like, it sounded like you were like, I love
read the
this
literature.
festival.
Yeah.
I love life.
Yeah.
I want to truly live my life as a free human. I'm twirling.
I had no action. I got no action in Thailand. It was
Really?
so
Really?
sad. There were
Well,
so many hot. Like,
Probably different levels of
well,
repression there.
you could go to there's tourists everywhere. They had like full moon parties, like whenever there's a full moon. If you're out on the islands in Thailand,
This is awesome.
They like do like neon body paint, and everybody's stoned out of their gourd and
Really?
just dancing on the beach.
They're
It's
not
so fun.
anti-marijuana like most countries are.
It depends where you are.
Right.
Yeah. You could get busted big in the north. Yeah.
But you're ballsy to even go there and even try to look for drugs, I would imagine. Like, I'm very terrified
Everybody
of...
had it. The tourists were all.
Well, I'm scared of being...
Yeah.
I mean, like, something like Mexico. I can't, like...
Oh, no.
I'm even afraid to...
Nah,
Like, I don't
that's
want to be...
fine.
But not in a
No.
Mexican jail. It's not fine.
Yeah,
Man.
well, no, you pay them off. You don't go to jail.
hot Australian surfer coming up to me with a tablet of ecstasy. I'll do the ecstasy. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to say no to that. It was too hot.
That's awesome. You been to Australia?
No. I'm not. I can't.
You gonna go Tom and Dan Australia trip? We're gonna do it?
Sure.
Let's do it.
So let's talk more about Thailand, because ever since I saw the Leonardo DiCaprio
The Beach.
movie, The
Beach,
Beach,
yeah.
Great
Classic.
soundtrack.
I was like, oh, this is a true adventure. Like you go to some place that is not inhabited, and then you find some sort of paradise that is away from everybody else. Although it then turns bad.
Brutal.
That island where they filmed that, I guess, is just beat the hell up.
No,
because
the tourists weren't there.
everyone was reading the beach when I was there too. That was a big thing because they're all inspired by it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what I learned from going to Hawaii is like, and there were places that, and this didn't, by the way, Crystal didn't find this weird, but every place, like where my brother-in-law had his wedding, was the old military or the old Air Force or airport, right?
Okay.
So there was, it was just and they turned it into a state park, and they left the runway and they used it just as parking, and it was like a mile of beautiful beach with rocks like on the outside, like, you know, lava rocks and water's crashing on them. And they just put a bunch of pavilions as a state park free. You just park there like anything. But it's in any other place, like I've said this on the BDM show, I think it would be $1 trillion worth of land if this was in California.
Left it alone.
But, well, there's not enough tourism and there's not enough people to visit. It's a remote, you know, the Big Island in Hawaii is less tourism.
Well, that's more of a, it says a lot about design thinking, like when they were designing that space, they're looking at nature and public space as a benefit for everyone versus private investors. Like Winter Park, when they built Winter Park, all of the lakefront property is privately owned. Right?
Yeah.
Versus Orlando, when they designed Orlando, all of the lakefront property is generally like public. Like you could drive around it. You have access.
Yeah.
Well, it just seemed like, but the reason for that is because there's less tourists because out of all the islands, the Big Islands, you know, is the newest and there's less people visiting there. And it's so hard to get to.
Yeah.
And it feels like the only place, because when I was there, I was like, it is weird being in such a beautiful place and it's not crowded and ruined by like corporations.
Like
and,
you said, you felt
money.
You said you felt weird standing there because it was like you were there enjoying it and no one else was there.
Just some locals, and like there wasn't any. The Black Sand Beach was the same. There was no like hotels built or like people.
I love that
because that's not their thing.
That's why we go to Cape Canaveral.
There would be
seashore
if it was
because they don't do that thing.
If there were tourists, there would be that because capitalism, but because there wasn't,
there's no need for it.
And
it's
I
a
feel
national park too, isn't it?
There's Volcano National Park, but believe me, it's still the United States. Their capitalism, they would have built there, but there's not enough people to like have giant hotels or some tourist areas there.
Wow.
Like, and so it's the only time I remember recently being in such a beautiful place that wasn't fucked out by corporations or money or just a bunch of like, you know, usually you're surrounded by a million tourists and they're all horrible and you're like, this is gross.
Well, the last time I went to just like a beach, not a remote beach, just the beach, you know, like, and there is something to be said about, like, I do like the carnival aspect of the boardwalk with, like, the snow cone or the beer. And
That's fun.
Yeah, I love it, but it was so packed. I was just like, I don't think this is my vibe anymore.
If we're going to the beach, we don't go to Cocoa.
Yeah,
we go to Cape Canaveral Seashore.
But there's no secrets. We said this before.
They're done.
Social media has revealed everything.
Google Earth. Thank you, Google Earth.
Well, like that, the most quiet place in America is, like, at the center of Yellowstone Park, right? Like, you can't hear anything. You can't hear, there's no planes flying above it. It's like,
it's remote.
The most remote spot in the United States. And I don't know if it's the center of Yellowstone, but it's around there. And that seems very appeling to me.
Although,
try to go there.
Yeah, I like that.
Guess what? The same place
you
saw that
there blasting music.
Well, the same social media post that you saw that in, so did a million other people. And you go there, and it's going to be full of tourists.
That's true.
And
for sure.
Lake Superior, like near where I grew up, there was a secret spot, Catherine's Cove, and it was inside the Lake Superior.
I think I hit that in college.
Catherine's Cove. That's where I got
Sorry,
grabbed.
I'm
but
good
it's not
for a couple
secret
days.
anymore, right?
No, and then like a big tourism thing wrote about it. It was a secluded beach that you have to park on the side of the highway, hike in to get to it, and then it's this big, beautiful sandy beach, and then there's a rock island that you can access via a sand bar. You have to carry your stuff out.
That's pretty
overhead.
awesome.
And then there's like a little lake in the middle of the rock island. And it's so beautiful. It was so remote, so special. It almost feels like it should be in Willow or something.
Right.
And
like
now
an
it's
alien landscape.
packed. Everybody
Yeah.
goes there. Yeah, we would go
Well,
up
we
there.
did that here with all the streams and springs and
Dude, King's Landing.
King's Landing.
A year ago.
The Glen.
a year
months
ago.
wait list now.
10 years ago, we were going to do our first BDM event at,
I think.
and it's almost coming up to the 10-year reunion because we did it in March, and we
should go
this
back to
year's
the
been 10
same
years.
place.
Well, they're like, we're booked for 6 months.
Yeah.
Like, at that time, I remember Steve from Porky's was friends with the owner of King's Landing, and then they were like, Steve was like, "Hey, you ever been here? It's a really cool place." Like,
Nobody went there.
You're canoeing and kayaking,
Nobody.
and like they needed advertising.
Yeah, they
Like,
needed help.
and they were like, "We want to promote this place that we do the." And we had too many people. Like they were going to go to the first BDM event, so they freaked out. They're like, "Oh, we can't."
It got like 250 people, and he's like, "I don't know about that, guys."
Yeah, it did. Like I think 500 people said they were going to go, and that freaked them out. But so it was only 10 years ago where King's Landing needed advertising. Now they call it like the Emerald Cove or whatever the fuck. It's all over social media.
Visit Orlando does a post about them weekly.
Yeah.
You know,
and now it's a destination,
Right.
and people go to, and it's packed for 6 months out. Like you can. Good luck trying to
we
even
can't
get a
even
canoe.
get into Kelly's Rock Springs anymore.
Oh, no.
No, yeah.
You
It's
can't,
done.
if you're not up at 6 a.m., you're not going to be able to go tubing.
Right.
I want to go tubing so bad.
I love tubing.
So
fun.
Jenny Springs, like
Ah.
we were there this past summer on our family RV trip,
Yeah.
and that place is slammed.
Yeah.
Like I mean, when I used to go in college, I know there's old men talk about how things have changed, but it just
I used to be able to get in there for a nickel.
And I'd have to walk uphill both ways.
But I feel like there's still, like, Hawaii gave me hope that if you go far enough, remotely enough, there's still untouched places in the
Well,
world.
you're
which
spending a lot of money. Big plane ticket. Get the hell out of here.
And they got that eggs are $8. Everything's so expensive.
I've still
but
not done Wikiwachi. I really want to do Wikiwachi.
It's
I've
awesome.
never done it either.
It's great. Yeah, I've been. It's really, really fun.
Let's go.
I would go. Maisie loves it because Maisie loves the mermaids. Yeah,
Okay.
it's fantastic.
I want to do mushrooms.
They'll let you get in there too. No, why don't you take the mermaid class? They'll let you do it.
I'm awful at swimming.
I thought you were a merman before.
I did a
they
photo
would love
shoot,
it. The
I
girls
almost
at
drowned.
WikiWatchy would love it if
No.
you got in there, dude.
Did you see those photos that we did underwater? As
Yeah,
a
they were
merman?
cool.
Yeah, I almost died.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
It was awful.
You're not a good swimmer?
It was
I thought you were a great swimmer.
Awful swimmer.
Oh.
And then I would come
Hold
out of the
on.
water and my
Your dad
wig
is a good swimmer.
My wig would weigh me down, and I did one with a beard on, and it was like I was waterboarding myself.
Oh, yeah.
And I was choking. I got a nosebleed in the
Oh,
middle
my
of that
God.
photo shoot. I really thought I was going to die.
Oh, underwater. You have photos of an underwater nosebleed.
I know. The photographer was
Horrifying.
like, I've never seen someone work so hard to get these photos.
Fucking Anna Nicole Smith over here. He's taking all the photos.
I couldn't
he's in
open
the
my
tub.
eyes up underwater, so I looked like I was this little squinty merman the whole time. It was just not good.
Although it is weird breathing out of a tiny tube.
Yeah,
it's
they
not
do
natural.
it great.
It's not natural.
I love it when they do their tryouts. You can go on YouTube and see the tryouts
Yeah,
for the mermaids and stuff like that. Maisie loved it.
They let dudes do it now. I think there
Did
was
they?
a video about a guy doing the camp.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So you can have a merman in there. Mer king, they're called mer princes, I think.
Let's get out of
Oh,
here.
okay.
So, Brendan,
Oh, okay.
there's an
Plug some
episode
stuff.
Bungalow and the Bus tonight.
There is, yeah. We recorded it. We just did a night market at the Heavy in Winter Park. It's called the Bizarre Bazaar.
Tom has a war with the Heavy because that's the place at Andrea where I purchased her plant of the month club that you hated so much, and she loves it. And all those wonderful plants that are in my house all came
Are
from the
from
Heavy.
there. They're
I love
so
that
good.
place.
They're
Yeah,
so cool. They're opening.
It made
another
you
venue.
very angry.
We recorded there with Mo DeWitt, and it was great. We had a burlesque show. The dancers were all the sisters from Hocus Pocus. We had a Hocus Pocus burlesque number during the
Wait,
event.
even the bucktooth one?
Yeah, it was sexy.
Did she pull her titties out?
A little bit. She definitely twerked.
I think that's kind of hot, the bucktooth one with her titties
Sarah
out.
showed her pasties, the Sarah Jessica Parker one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when she ripped it off, it was like boobies.
And people went crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although none of these kids knew how to tip.
Is it a bucktooth one,
Well,
Sarah
let's talk
Jessica
about that.
Parker, and the fat one? Right? Isn't that what it is?
Yeah.
Or is it, you can't say.
But none of them were fat, and she was gorgeous. That's James Dillman from Corsets and Cuties.
Yeah.
She's
Well,
lost like
Corsets and
40
Cuties
pounds.
is great.
She looks.
They always do a
She killed
top-notch
it.
show.
She
Awesome.
played the bigger role. She took her
Yeah.
wig off. And
Well, I
she
don't mean
had
her. I
flame
mean the
red
character
hair.
in the movie.
Yeah, she looked great as this character though.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
Wonderful job.
Well, let's talk about younger people not knowing how to tip with cash anymore because
so weird.
What is it? Is it they don't know how to deal with cash, right?
Can I tap? Can I tap?
yeah.
Well, the Sanderson sisters would give out these Venmo cards. Like, here, if you really want to tip us, you could use this Venmo card if you don't have the cash.
Oh, that's smart.
I thought so too, but also kind of sad because you don't want to. It takes the fun out of giving a $1 bill to a dancer.
You should have a device. Yeah. You should have a device on the upper part of your pussy.
Oh, you scan
like
it?
a tap
or a QR code
where I can do the on my watch. I can do the double click. It goes to my Apple Card, and then I tap it.
What if it's your Venmo QR code is tattooed on your wrist?
No, they should have a tap. I'm being joking, but like at the front, like you could walk up there and tap your Apple Watch and give them $5 or something.
I like that.
But the whole psychology behind tipping to me, and this may be dumb old man, but is that you give the money to the human
and you stare into her eyes uncomfortably.
Well, not even the stripper, anybody with any tip, right? Because I look at this with even like panhandlers. Like panhandlers sometimes will have like a Cash App or Venmo thing on the side of the street. Like you could Cash App me, but because you as the tipper get some sort of like psychological enjoyment out of giving someone money and being recognized that it's me.
Yeah.
If you just
when I do my drag bingo and people give me tips, you get more when you thank them.
Exactly. And then you're more likely to tip. If you want to tip anonymously, that's a weird thing to me. Like
I like an anonymous. I do the Venmo too. I'll put my Venmo up and they'll be like straight guys will use the Venmo themselves.
So they want to help out, but they would feel too awkward to walk up to the man dressed in drag and put the money in the...
There was a guy who gave me $50 last week.
Fuck.
And he went like...
Now, when guys do that...
I want you
this is awesome.
to be like, I give you $50, and now you thank me for that.
I think it would hurt his bottom line, because I think if I'm picking up what you're laying down, do you think that guy would...
I think there's like a down-low aspect to that one, but yeah.
But why would that be? Do you think that guy's maybe closeted gay? Is he...
Maybe, but then sometimes...
Doesn't want to seem like an ally? What's the problem?
Or maybe it seems gay if you walk up and give me the money, but if you do it like on the slide.
What does it seem like when you bring your daughter inside and have her like see you and so and we're like, hey, Brandon, we're interrupting the show.
I like
Is that bad? Yeah, it's fun. I love seeing you Tuesdays at Tactical, right?
Yeah.
What time does it start? 7?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
Totally free.
I flake every single time I'm gonna try to get up there.
We'll get you in there.
Yeah, we'll get you in there.
Also
Heard
check out Semantics. We're good at telling people, well, we're going to go to that. And then, you know why? Because
once I'm home, I'm home.
If you want to be winning those most powerful lists again, you guys got to get out there and let people see your beautiful faces.
We're recluses now.
I will say, when me and Crystal went out to Hamilton last night, like we went out to dinner first, and then it like my mom watched The Boys.
That's awesome.
And she brought up the fact that she's like, well, the boys are, they're 7 and 8 now. So it's like, in 5 or 6 more years, they're going to be hanging out with us anymore. They want to hang out with their friends. And then Crystal brought up the fact that, like, we have to get used to going out and
Macy's
enjoying
like
each other's company.
She wants to go to sleepovers. She wants to go to dance. I mean, not that she doesn't love being around us, but she has other interests.
Like, so we'll be out and about just a couple more years. Like, I just want to do as much as I can with my sons while they still want to hang out with me. But, like, we're close.
You're not doing as well as Brendan and his dad, because Brendan's dad took him all kinds of crazy shit. That's awesome.
Yeah, although if I told my sons, you want to go interview an old man? No, I don't.
I didn't really want to at the time. I hated it. And then he would also, my dad was not always great. There were times I remember
Don't say something really bad. Like he'd knock mom around. He'd knock your teeth out.
He'd forget to pick me up after work and stuff, and I'd have to walk home for 2 hours in the country trying to find my way home. Crying in the snow.
That's a standard Canada grow up.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it made you tougher, right? Yeah. That's why you're tough.
Yeah.
Seriously.
That's why I dress up in dresses now.
Yeah, but I have a feeling if you needed to throw down, you're not a small human.
No, I could jersey you.
I'll punch somebody in the face.
Yeah, I'll pull your shirt over your face and punch it.
Yeah, I'll hop
know
your
what?
ass.
We're too weak as parents nowadays. Like, we beat ourselves up too much. Like, my wife a couple times have forgotten to go pick up the kids.
Why are you gonna say that, bro?
At 2 on Wednesdays, and like she would forget that it's Wednesday, and like she would think it's 3 because the early release, and the school would call like their kids are here, come get
Come
them.
get your kid, you deadbeat mother.
And then she would whip herself for weeks, be like, oh, I can't believe I forgot or whatever. And I'm like, you
got
forget
a lot
sometimes.
on your plate, Mom.
Brendan used he had to walk home 2 hours in the snow.
Yeah.
I know it's cliche, but like
I made him pay.
Hey, that's a real thing. This email is about a listener. I'm holding it in front of the camera. It's got pictures, but this listener is talking about trick-or-treating in a cold climate where he had to walk all the way up to trick-or-treat and slide all the way down to trick-or-treat, and it was terrible.
We make it so easy. I was going to talk about this on the BDM. We probably will talk more on the
in
BDM
the snow,
show.
In the cold.
Yeah, to put your
costume
over
over
your snowsuit.
Yeah.
My dad hit me with the car once. True story, because I was behind it because it was a blizzard. I was behind the car, and he backed up, hit me, and I slid on top of the car because it was so snowy. My birthday's on Halloween, so I got hit by a car that my dad was driving on my birthday.
And he probably got mad at you for being back
there.
Hey,
I got to play this real quick.
Okay.
Check this out. This is interesting.
What's up, guys? Ben with the Y here. I don't have too many crazy Halloween stories. I was born in 77, so I trick-or-treated all through the 80s. But I did have a cousin, and they always used to say, don't ride on the front or on the hood of the car because you could slide off and get run over.
By the way, my dad's favorite holiday, remember he'd spend like an upwards of $200, $300, $400. I think one year he even spent $500 on candy to give all the... Because our neighborhood was nice, so everybody would come in. He would run out there and tell there'd be people from other neighborhoods that would have their kids on the hood of the car. He would run out there to tell them not to do it.
Well, that actually happened to him. He was riding on the hood of a car, and his dad was driving, and he had to slam on brake for some reason. He slid out into front of the car and got ran over, and it really messed him up. It broke his leg, broke his arm, broke a bunch of ribs, and he walked funny for the rest of his life. And later on, he ended up, taking his own life, which is a different story altogether. But
I did listen to
the
the
pain and suffering of riding on the hood of a car during Halloween. So,
I did listen to the end of that. I should have vetted this. I didn't know he killed himself at the end. But anyway, so he's riding on the hood of the car.
Because he walked funny?
No, well, for Halloween, he's, because kids do that. They ride on the hood of the car as your dad slowly goes down the cul-de-sac. Don't do that. That's a good way to get killed or kill yourself. Don't do that.
Your dad should, but I don't understand. He hit the brakes, and then his kid fell off, and then he kept going.
Well, he's drunk. He's drinking.
Well, if you tap the brakes or slow down, you still fall off, but you're still moving forward. I imagine that he probably slowed down the person.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
the kid fell off.
And honestly, slower would be worse than faster, right? I think faster you'd almost not get broken, but when you're going slow, it's the whole weight just.
That's so sad.
The main
that is
thing
sad. I should have vetted that. I didn't
hate
know the
that
ending of that was
story.
like he killed himself. Sorry, Dan. All right, love the show. Medium for lunch.
So,
I'm sorry.
Like, I'm taking my son's trick-or-treating in the rich part. Like, everybody knows that you go to, like...
Baldwin Park.
No, I'm Dominic. Well, we used to go to Baldwin Park.
No, they've sworn us off that. They don't like to do it because we were voted 13 in the nation. Number 13 in the U.S.
Well, because that's because of that.
It's
and the
crazy.
goddamn social media.
It's crazy.
5,000 people
It's
just
too
said
much.
So Baldwin Park as a community doesn't like people doing it?
I don't.
No, they like it.
I don't like it. It's too much.
But it's like you're now standing in a line. When you're in a line of people getting candy and they're just pouring candy. It's just a never-ending line of kids. That, to me...
Make them work.
It takes the door-to-door aspect that I want old school. Like, you go to a door...
Yeah.
Another thing that
he wants a little Goonies, actually, like old school.
Well, the Aloma Bowl's doing a trunk or treat.
I hate that too.
I'm so anti-trunk and treat.
I don't
hate
understand what that is.
You decorate the trunk of your car, you put your candy in there, and then you sit out there in lawn chairs.
Now, it
sounds like you're grooming your kids to get candy from strangers' cars.
No, what the trunk or treat thing?
I didn't think about that.
No, it's
that's how I got pregnant the first time.
No, but it's just like car. It's just to make it's like houses, but use the trunk of your car.
I remember
that's so American.
And
I don't like it.
So, Brendan, let me ask you this: when
Aloma Bowl.
I remember when I was trick or treating as a kid, there were multiple I want to say every third house you would go there. And by the way, not many people had decorations. Like decorations is a new thing when they started mass
paper
producing
paper hanger. No, and the traditional,
homemade.
right? What is everybody supposed to have? You weren't supposed to have the holograms that I have.
Scarecrow,
no smoke, no,
hand-carved
none of that.
pumpkins.
You would just have a pumpkin. You got it.
one pumpkin.
It would be one pumpkin, and that's how you knew the houses that had candy. There were no decorations. Maybe like a cardboard hanger on the window, something.
Yeah,
but we would do,
the
like,
skeleton with the
head, yeah.
accordion, crepe paper arms, stuff like that. The classics.
My mom gets like 5 kids.
I like that.
You know?
I like
yeah.
that. That's cute.
So they get the bigger chocolate bars.
But I remember like going scared as a kid, going up
you'd
to
be nervous.
Like you walk up to a house where you
That was so good.
Thank you. Michael Winslow taught me that.
And the person that answered would be mad and confused why you were there because they had no idea either
what
about
do we got here.
Like,
it's still a little dusk, it's not quite 9. Oh,
No,
what do we have here?
No,
It's fucking Halloween, old man.
But I grew up in Miami. It was just a mad Spanish man or a mad Cuban grandma that you were bothering her in the middle of the night and would basically shoo you away, and then you'd be like, so you but that was part of it. Like sometimes you got candy, sometimes you got a mad Cuban grandma, sometimes, and most of the time no one answered the door. But that's what it was. And now it's like you go and it's just you get candy at every single stop.
Yeah.
Now,
and lots and too much.
And now I did say that the pandemic made trick-or-treating better with small kids, because with smaller kids, I will say that it's easier just to go to someone's driveway and they're obviously participating.
Yeah, they're set up in the driveway.
And then everybody's set up in the driveway, and then it's like, all right, it makes it a lot easier. But when your kids get older, I want them to go through a little bit of adversity, right?
Yeah,
and
I agree.
be a little bit scared to be like, hey, this person could be mad that I'm asking them for candy. Like they're not. I just feel like all that's gone now.
Yeah.
It's just so easy.
It's just
or you're in a
different.
line to Baldwin Park, and it's just a never-ending line of kids, and they're just shoveling it out candy.
I've come to terms with the fact that she still likes it, but it's different than what I got. You know what I mean? Like I look at it now. I try to look at it a little differently. Like it's not.
Does she like doing it?
She does. For the first year ever, she's actually picked a costume I like. She's a glitter witch, or she's a witch, like a fashion witch or something.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's cute. She has a broom and like a hot pink like witch outfit, but it's cute. But I will say that it's not as a big deal. Like when I was a kid, it was the time you got candy.
Yeah.
Now kids always get candy. Candy's not a big deal.
And it's abundant.
I think it's a bigger deal for like poor kids. You
Well,
know what I mean?
they come to Baldwin,
gross.
and it's an endless line.
I hate poor kids. I'm joking.
But
we loved it.
You can go anywhere and get infinite amount of candy.
Yeah.
It's not like you used to have to work for it in house to house.
I mean,
and then
no bullshit. You can hit 5 houses in Baldwin. I'm not kidding you. Hit 5. That's all you need to hit. You'll have enough candy to eke out your night. You'll get a ton. And they have martinis.
never ending.
They have beer tubs. They give out beers to dads. They've got draft
love
beer.
that.
It's really cool, but it's a lot, man. Like if I'm going anywhere that night, or if, God forbid there was an emergency, I don't know what would happen.
But it's too much.
It's a lot.
Well, if you just walk out your door and there's an endless amount.
Yeah, Andrea's right. 30 minutes in and Maisie's done because her bag is full. And it's a lines, like you said.
Well, 30 minutes is nice, and you don't have to spend the whole night doing it.
It's better for the parents, but what I'm saying
It's
is
not the
they
full
keep-
thing.
and
I rode my bike.
Again, this may be an old man thing.
No, I had to
old man
work for
bitches
it.
about walking in the snow.
I support it.
But it it made it better
It
to
did.
get what you got because it was rare.
You had
and
to
hard
work a
get.
little bit. Like I had to ride my bike. I had my pumpkin on my handlebars and my BMX. And me and my boys, we'd ride. We'd all ride together, and we go house to house. We park our bikes at one house that
Yeah, I
we knew,
love that.
and then we'd walk, and then we'd get back on our bikes and ride to another little area, and we'd work. You'd have to work a little bit. Some years you'd get a lot. Some years you'd get a medium amount. I always got a decent amount. But now it's like literally 30 minutes, and we have a gallon of candy, and we just go home.
Pillowcase?
Maze is a pumpkin, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Old school.
I like that.
all
Doesn't
right.
leave much room. You got to have something to dump it into.
Yeah. We always have a wagon or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like we're those people.
But again, they nowadays the mom takes the Halloween candy and then puts it away, and then you can have a little bit
No,
of time.
we don't do that.
Oh, you just let her have her.
Well,
minute
that
she
night
wants.
you eat what you want.
Yeah, but I'm saying then does she store it all in her room and she eat it whenever she wants?
No, but here's the thing: we already have candy in our house because we're trash people. I mean, I got candy.
I know, me too.
I got candy everywhere, dude. Like, I don't need candy.
Do you control your kids' access to their Halloween candy?
Yeah, you have to because
You
they don't have
have to.
any
They're
goddamn.
It's like a fucking wolf, like with a body.
Yeah,
Like,
they'll just eat candy all the time if you.
Yeah.
If they have access to it, they'll just eat it all the time.
Yeah.
They won't eat anything else, and their teeth are
Awesome.
rotten. Then you're like, oh God, the embarrassment of the other
If your
parents see your
parents
rotten
had
teeth.
controlled access to your candy, would you be mad?
Well, I don't eat candy.
Can
I'm
I
not a
tell
baby.
you?
What are we
Can
talking
we
about?
end with this? Can we end with
Huh?
this? Can we end with the most disappointed I've ever been in my daughter?
Yep.
2 nights ago, we were going up to take a shower, and I was going to put her in the shower, and I slipped a Snickers fun size in each toe of my Vans as I was walking up. And when we got to the top, I said, hey, Mama doesn't know about this. Here. And I had a Snickers for me and a Snickers for her. She took both the Snickers. She ran downstairs and told on me.
Oh, yeah.
To
She's a
Andrea.
snitch.
She's a fucking snitch.
Well, she wants you to live long and prosper.
Well, I was very upset with it. In fact, I told her to her face. I go,
Your
I
daughter's
can't
old
believe
enough-
you fucking did that.
Your daughter's old enough to go to the shower by herself, though, right?
Well, no, I was taking her up to make sure she does it,
Oh,
you know,
okay.
because if I just tell her go take a shower, she'll go up there, take all her clothes off, splash water in her face, put her jammies on me. I'm done. Yeah, she's a fucking liar.
I like a stinky.
Yeah, I hated it. I hated that she wouldn't go along with it with me. And she told him, she's like, Mom,
She'll
Dad
come
tried to
back.
give me candy. And then
She'll
she took her
come back.
candies back.
She'll come back to you.
My sons will eat the candy, then tell on me. So it's almost
Smarter.
worse. That's
That's
always
smarter.
worse
That's
of both
smarter.
worlds. I believe that Samantha is doing a semantics next weekend because she's at Fest.
Yes,
so.
let her enjoy her time, everybody. She doesn't get a lot.
Oh, no, she's doing a remote one.
Is she?
Yeah.
Oh,
okay,
you know,
I don't know
she
her.
listens.
I think it's called semantics or something.
Yeah,
There's
yeah, we're
another
not
one.
sure. We're not sure.
There's another one you can find.
Yeah,
it.
yeah, it's great.
Google her name.
No, it's the same one. It's
Samantha
her Patreon.
Rogers.
Support, oh my God. Support her Patreon. Go to
Yeah.
her Patreon. Throw her some money, man. She works hard, and she provides a lot of that. You heard about this one, content completely free, and that's a free show that she offers to everybody that signs up for her Patreon or even checks it out.
All right, guys. We'll tell more Halloween stories on the Monday's BDM show.
Yes, sir.
And we'll see you next week.
All right. See you guys.
See you,
Bye,
Twitch.
YouTube. Bye, Twitch.